Stop. All right, what's good? What's going on? How's everybody going? How's your Saturdays? Bro trying to be intense with that in the background. There's nothing more intense than the Coffee Cat theme song. Dr. Battle, good to see you. It's not Donowald, bro. Dr. Battle, if we're talking on Discord and then I go live and you say, please, why don't you say hi to me? Say hi to me, streamer. Say hi to me. It's like, we've just spoken. We spoke 15 minutes ago on Discord. Do you plan on watching the new Overly Simplified series? I don't know what that is, but maybe, perhaps, we could do something tonight. Oh, this Solil is tearing right through me. The worst thing I ever said. Do you plan on playing Power World? Maybe. I just got a feeling it's going to be a flash in the pan. I feel like it's one of those, it's like New World or something, where I'm going to get in and where everyone's going to play, and then right when I get into real grind mode, everyone quits. I just don't feel like it's got longevity. That's my fucking worry. That's my take. It feels like every other, but I could be wrong. I don't really know too much about it. Perhaps it's funny. Perhaps it's great. Coffee cow. Just finished watching an underwhelming as fuck movie on Netflix called How It Ends. It was underwhelming as fuck, huh? How It Ends, Netflix. Has anyone else seen this movie? Could they confirm or deny if this movie is super whack? It's an action thriller film. It's trash. It doesn't look very memorable. It's got an average 3 out of 10. 17% Rotten Tomatoes. This is a bad movie, bro. I don't even know if it's underwhelming. I mean, this is just bad. This is just straight up, this looks like a bad movie. I don't know what drew to. You know what's funny? I read a really interesting article, and it was about a Netflix internal team that makes those 3 tags on every movie. You know how, like, you'll scroll past the movie and it'll be like intense, witty, charming, or like, you know, thriller, heist, scary, you know, whatever. It'll be 3 random words. Apparently, they have like really, really detailed proof that those words are the difference between somebody scrolling past and choosing to watch. Like, our human brain needs a word that says like thriller or like, you know, charming, so our brain can give us the okay to watch it. Like, they've done double blind tests where they take away the words. People scroll like way longer. They're less likely to pick something. But like when you're scrolling, it's like almost like your brain is trying to pattern match to ensure that whatever you watch isn't going to waste your time. And so your brain needs some kind of reassurance that it's going to be something basically you've already seen. In a way, like your brain has to match it into a bucket of something you've already seen and liked. So they have to put these little fucking tags that give you that reassurance. Which is interesting. It's interesting. It's a concept that I never really thought of. So you should put "this is good" in every YouTube video title. Dude, it makes me think about YouTube. I don't even know how you could do it on YouTube. But there is things people do. I mean, thumbnails have conceits, and there's certain title conceptions that people use that, like, they're not necessarily good, but they tell the viewer that something is going to happen. Like, they tell the viewer about something in the video in a way where they know it's going to be like this or like this other thing they already liked. Video essay on every video, but it's on an essay. Yeah, exactly. If you're a person who likes video essays, the fact that they put video essay in the title or like imply it gives you an idea of what type of video it's going to be. It's going to be, you know, longer, meandering. You could put it on second monitor. You could have it play, you know, that kind of thing. They want to give that across so that you click it knowing what you're getting into. Most video essays are now just literally explaining the plot of a piece of media. Dude, I mean, you can't get mad at that because that is high art now. Because The baseline is AI generated movie recaps with like unrelated clips from the film. That's the baseline. So a human being who watched the film explaining it to you is like high art. That is fucking that's amazing. That's Da Vinci. I saw one recently that was verbatim the wiki plot. It's such a race to the bottom. Content is such a race to the bottom in this age. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. That's why I don't know. It's wild. It's a wild world. Hi, B-Pie. What does that make an H-bomb video? Well, that's amazing. But again, he only does like one a year, so it's a it's an insane system. He has to hit. You know what I'm saying? H-bomber guy. Imagine he works 11 months on a video and it just doesn't hit. You know, for whatever reason, it's just not. Or like the day before, that person had already been discovered. Like whatever, they figured out that James Somerton, whatever. So he's, you know what I'm saying? Like he works 11 months on it and then he's just fucked. That's what I'm saying. It's very high risk. Congrats on 20 out of 20. Thank you very much. This is truly an unprecedented occasion. I haven't done 20 days straight of streaming since my original first 30 days at the very beginning of the pandemic. Like right after we got sent home for lockdown, I was like, I'm going to do 30 days to see what it's like. And that was back when I played Undertale to 100 viewers. So we are at 20 out of 20, baby. Popathon was a year? No, you thought I did the Popathon for 1 year of streaming straight? Popathon was 3 days. It was like a weekend. It might be a 4-day, maybe a 4-day weekend. All I know is I said it was the Popathon that goes till it ever ends, but then I had work. Yeah, it was 3 days. It was a Monday off, but then Tuesday it was like, all right, well, I do have work. I have a meeting at 9. I got it. So like, it's actually pretty good. Popathon 2 will be a year. You think so? And you think that'd be enjoyable? 1 year of a man playing balloons straight. You think that's interesting? What game will the next Thon be? I'm just afraid of Thons, dude. I'm afraid of Thons. I'm afraid of thongs. Anything. I'm afraid of thrones. I'm afraid of all. It's all scary to me. Because I have a good system now, bro. For the first time, you know, very rarely in my life do I get on a good cycle. You know, where you get the flywheel spinning, where every day I'm kind of like, I'm having some activity, I'm reading, I'm sleeping all right. You know, it's like, and if I do an a-thon, it's gonna blow up in my face, dude. It's a complete own goal. So I'm just afraid of it. If I have a good idea, I'll do it, but I'm like too afraid. I'm too afraid to do it right now. And I've already been on a stream every day, which is pretty good. Bro, never seen 8 Miles. Own goals is how you win. I have seen 8 Mile. Not 8 Miles, it's 8 Mile. And it's a little different because he probably would have preferred had Wink not fucked his girl. And you know, living in a trailer park with his mom and all that stuff. He made the best of a bad situation. It's not like he planned it. He's not like, hey, I could get a job outside of Detroit stamping, but I'm going to do this so that I can get a better battle rap comeback at the end. I don't think that's what he would have done. Are we still talking about SBF's girlfriend? Give it up. I don't actually know what you're referencing. What did I say sound like Caroline Ellison? Can we talk about 8 Mile today? What is there to say, bro? The only thing I've often repeated about 8 Mile is that I think Lotto won the second round. I actually think Lotto won the second round. I think he did too. I think he beat Eminem, and no one gives him credit for that. What? I watched the first 4 Saw movies now. I don't get why he's laying in the middle of them in the first movie. You don't get... He's a psychopath. Canonically, in the universe, he is a psychopath that kills people. You're worried about that he... Yeah, I don't know. It was a twist. He set up... Do you get why he put a clown mask on and walks around and makes you play a little game? Is that part normal to you? But that he's laying down? It doesn't... What are you talking about, bro? He's a bit of a jokester. He's a little quirked up. He's a little bit quirky. He holds up sporks. I don't know how he stood still for so long. It's not that I don't think you can nitpick movies, you understand? I do think that's fine. I just think what you're picking to nitpick is so strange. So strange to me. He's just a quirked up white boy. Yeah, exactly. His name's Jigsaw. Think about that, really. Charles Swin, thank you for the 12 months. Teal Puffin, thank you for the 5 months. WoW Hardcore today. How did you guess that? How did you guess I was just going to jump on the WoW Hardcore train 3 months late? Alone. And just play it for 8 hours today. How did you know that? You just really figured it out, dude. That's what I was going to do. Despite having no real interest in WoW, I've decided that today is the day. Dogs are better. Thank you for the 7 months. Matt PST, thank you for the Prime. EJ Hardy, thank you for the 28 months. Rippy, thank you for the 4 months. Love you, Poppy. Don't call me Poppy. Okay? Call me the Dawn. No, wait, don't call me that. You impulsively got Prince of Persia off that one stream, and it's a ton of fun. It is a ton of fun. I actually want to play it real bad, but we're having to figure it out. I don't know. Bro ignored my sub. I ignore shit. Pay the Musician, everybody! Let's play a classic Pay the Musician song. Well, I just don't want to play Tale of the Coffee Cow. Because everyone's going to move. Let's see. What else could I play? Let's play Story of a fucking Samurai, bro.
This is the story of a samurai, destined to take on every boss.
Thank you, Pay the Musician.
This is the story of a samurai,
it's the Chief. Thank you for the 9 months.
Where there's no triumph without loss. So
Tsunami. Thank you for the 4 months. Robot Ninja. Thank you for the 3 months. Regoof, thank you for the Prime. Base Data, thank you for the 4 months.
Atrioc, you're not the brightest of them all. You'll win because you fall and get back up again.
What an amazing song. Skippy Steven, thank you for the 16 months. Charles Wynn, thank you for the 12 months. Thank you very much. Genuine question. Would you rather be called Poppy or Coffee Man? Neither. That's the genuine answer. Neither. And I don't have to make that choice. Rabbit Fudo, thank you for the heart. Thank you very much. Do you have plans for next Prince of Persia? It was a fun watch. Yeah, definitely. I will beat it for 1 week from today. 1 week from today, we will have beaten that game for sure. That way, it'll be done and dusted. This clip will... No, actually, I should be careful because I really don't think I will be beating the game 1 week for today. But I'm going to give it my God's honest. I'm going to give it my God's honest attempt. I was listening to VOD Frog. Sorry, what? I was listening to VOD Frog, the song. And you were listening to it at work, and one of your coworkers grabbed your phone, asked you to play it out loud, and then called you things you cannot type here with a sad face. What? Floor. So your coworker stole your phone, played this song, and then insulted you? Why? This song? That doesn't make sense. Maybe they're a live stream viewer. Did they say that they were a live viewer? They're like, we don't like VOD frogs. Is that what it was? Like, how? I don't understand how else they could have. What other angle could there be to make fun of you? This is a great fucking song. It's just a track, you know. Just finishing moving to Hong Kong, starting a new job tomorrow. Congratulations and good luck. That's interesting. I've getting people reaching out to me that live in China. One guy reached out to me who is a manager at a Fortune 500 company based in China. He sent me his LinkedIn to confirm. And he lives and works in Shanghai and was like giving me details on the visa process. And there was a group of people on the Reddit that reached out that all live in Shanghai. There's like people that are like, either it's all one big psyop by Xi Jinping to get me in the door, but I really want to go now and just see some people, vibe, see the city. Seems hype, but we'll see. I feel like once I upload that Taiwan video, it's tougher. Does someone upload you to Billy? No, people there just have VPNs, bro. People don't understand how simple it is for them to use VPNs to get around a lot of firewall stuff. People watch YouTube and shit. Is Twitch banned in China? Yes. Yeah, I remember when I was at Twitch, they created a war room for the top executives, and they blacked out all of the, it was like a glass conference room, and they put black construction paper all over the windows so nobody can see inside. And they were working on getting us into China. That was get Twitch into China. Whatever it takes, we're going to find a way to get Twitch working in China. And then they were in that room all the time, working. Then later they announced, okay, we're not going to China at all. It's not happening. And also that war room was not really about China in any way. It was us planning to sell the company to Amazon. So, bit of a twist. Bit of a twist on the old situation. Is there any big Western or non-Chinese social media operating in China? No, there is not. No Facebook, no Instagram, no YouTube, no Twitch, no nothing. All of the big social media in China is Chinese owned, as they don't want foreign interference. Big A. What about MySpace? MySpace is huge in China. It's the #1 thing. Tom from MySpace is close personal friends with Xi Jinping. They hang out every week. Xi Jinping has a MySpace and a band on there. No Jeremy Renner app in China. It is sad. It's one of the great things. The Great Firewall has blocked many things from the Chinese people, but #1 is the Jeremy Renner app. It's a tragedy. Really, it's really sad. MySpace creator was part Asian, small part. Tom from MySpace is part Asian, or do you mean someone else? Do you think you can collab with Chinese YouTubers on a What's Up Beijing segment? Do you mean YouTubers in China? Because there is no YouTube in China, really. I mean, they can watch YouTube on a VPN, but... Or do you mean the YouTubers that talk about China? Tom... Long shot, but do you know any books or advice in finding a career path? I don't know if there's a book that's going to unlock that for you. Yeah, I would have to know so much more about your situation, bro. But just in general, find something you feel like you can tolerate practicing and getting better at. Yeah, that's what I would say. Not even that you super enjoy, something that you have some sort of affinity for, that you can push through the hard parts so you can get the good parts. Just get a job at Denny's for 50 years. Here, look, it sounds like you can't figure it out right now. So just call an audible, take a pass, and go to Denny's 40, 50 years. Okay. Just burn the clock. You know what I'm saying? Then you can figure it out later, but that gives you a lot of time. So just, you know what I'm saying? Take a break, turn your brain off, go to Denny's, knock out 40 years, and then come back to this stream. Ask me again. We'll all have better ideas. On the topic of books, where do you get them? Local store, Amazon, library, maybe other stores. What I do is I hear about a book, and then based on the title, I write my own version of it. So all of these books are self-written by me, self-published by me. They have titles of famous books, but the inside is all my handwriting because I don't ever want to take outside thoughts. That's not how you learn, okay? You learn by constantly innovating in your own mind. Never take from anyone else. A lot of people, including my parents, said that this Atomic Habits book is something that people should read and help me get my shit into shape. As someone who is not my parents and had an actual job, have you read it? Thoughts? If any habits speak to their... Yeah, I read Atomic Habits. There was a big phase where everyone was doing it and it was the #1 airport book. But I can't say that it made any profound impact on me. What was the big takeaways? I think there was something I did as a habit after I saw that, but I don't remember it being that great. To be honest, that book helped me brush my teeth. Yeah, I think it was like, was that the book where it was like make your bed in the morning because it starts your day off right? I don't know. I did some shit. I mean, I've definitely been on that trip. I wouldn't say Atomic Habits is probably going to change your life, but it can. I don't know. It depends on what your problems are, right? Are your problems that you are unmotivated, or your problems are that you are very easily distracted, or your problems are what do you feel like is holding you back is the thing. So, let me see. What is Atomic Habits key takeaways? Oh, you know what? Actually, there was some good things in this book. I'm sorry. What I remember from this book is the concept of patience with yourself when forming a new habit, and that making a good habit takes like at least 27 days of repetition to even begin forming in your brain. So there is some good to this where it's like sometimes people, I don't know, you go to the gym for 3 days or whatever, and you're like, it should be a habit now. And then you get mad or frustrated with yourself when it doesn't stick. It's more like you got to find a way. You have to find a way to slowly but surely integrate into your life until you've done it 27 days consistently, or 27 intervals. So there's probably some stuff in there where, you know what, if your parents recommend it, maybe you could use it to bond with them too. You could read it and talk to them about it. To help work and live with various mental health. Wait, sorry, what are you saying? You should listen to the new Ask Javid song. I don't know who Ask Javid is. Should I submit that here if you want to share? Wait, what do you guys? You guys are linking things, but I don't know what it is. So that does mean after day 30, streaming daily will be a habit for you? Yeah, I guess. No, it's more like, okay, it's like up until that point of the hump. Imagine like you're climbing a hill and then the hill's more flat. It's like there's a resistance to this new habit for the first, and again, it's like kind of an average, but like 27 days, right? So the first 27 times you have to kind of like, you have to push that flywheel. You have to get it started. You have to use some of your energy to overcome the inherent inertia against this new thing. But then after you've done it that many times in a row, it's a lot less difficult to keep doing it. That's more of the idea. That's like the takeaway. Is like, don't. I guess it's like imagine you did something 14 days in a row, and then the 15th day you're like, I'm tired, I don't want to do it, and you're mad at yourself because you're like, this is never going to get easier. This is never going to become a habit. I'm annoyed. I'm quitting. But try going a little longer, because once you get closer to 30 times, then all of a sudden it really isn't that much effort. Your brain is not forced. It's like fighting you on wanting to do it. That's sort of the idea. That's like the takeaway. So I can do heroin 27 days in a row before it becomes a problem. Got it. That's not. I feel like you're being deliberately obtuse. I feel like you are not engaging with me in a real one-to-one sincere fashion, and I think you're trying to almost use this conversation, sincere conversation, as a platform for your little jokes. That's what I think. That's my intuition. Ask the Storyteller Prince of Persia song. That sounds fucking amazing, but can we save it till I want to play Prince of Persia when save it. Well, that's be the first song we play it. Do 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 do. Hey, Big A. You have inspired me to sit on my ass all night long and do nothing. Awesome, dude. That's fucking awesome. That is based. That's what I'm here for, dude. Just trying to help you out. Hey, Big A. I'm a big fan from Taiwan since the Hollow Knight era. I heard you want to visit Taiwan recently, so I'll let you know that I can recommend some great places and great food. I very much want to visit Taiwan, and I would love your recommendations. Sincerely. Yeah, I very much want to visit Taiwan. Ideally, I could knock out Taiwan and China in one trip. And yes, Xi Jinping, if you're listening, when I say knockout, I am implying military action. Are there flights from China to Taiwan? Yeah, it's really funny. So if you're in a Chinese airport, you know how I'll have domestic and international? It'll have like international countries and Chinese Taipei or something. It separates it. It separates it, so, but it clearly has to be marked as not a domestic flight, but it's also like, which is funny. Why? I saw you ran through Portal Revolution under 4 hours, but have you played? I didn't beat it in under 4 hours, bro. I extended my time. That's probably like 5.5. Have you played Portal Stories Mel? No, I haven't. I had a good time with Portal Revolution. But honestly, after I beat Prince of Persia, which is my new obsession, I would like to play, ideally, Outer Wilds DLC. I think that would be the next thing. That would be really fun. And then by then, of course, I'm sure Silksong will have released, and we're all gonna play it together. Dude, I really, really fucking want Silksong to come out. I know that I'm the only person to ever say this. I know that I'm the brave soul who's like fucking finally gonna stand up and say it, but I wish they would fucking release the game so that I can play it. God damn. Will you do a Silk Songathon? Maybe. Yes. That would be all. If Silk Song came out this year, I think I would just stream until I beat it. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yes. You know what? I promise that. What's going to stop me? A triple date? Yeah. We want to binge it? Yes. I don't mean like rush it. I mean like it's all I play every day until I finish. Yeah, that sounds based. Hey, Big A, judging by recent news, it's highly likely the Elden Ring DLC might come out in 3 months. That'd be awesome. That'd be really fun. I'd be love to bring back the Glamour Eye. Would you speedrun COD Zombies? No, I would not. Although I am looking for an idea of something to speedrun with the boys, Linkus and Spectacore. I'm trying to think of something that like, dude, my fucking nose is itchy. Something to speedrun with the boys for our new fucking thing, Gold Split. We're starting this thing called Gold Split. And it's sick. And it's going to be like speedrunning stuff. And it's us three. And I just need the right thing to do. Hire a game developer to make a game exclusively for you guys. It's actually a fucking awesome idea, but it would be too expensive. That would be such a flex, dude, if we made our own game that only we could speedrun. That'd be sick as fuck. Neon White, huh? If none of us have played Neon White, is that like a good speedrunning game? That could be kind of fun. Neon White. The idea is that we like learn it at the same time and try to like. Let's see. Is it RNG with these cards? Is it RNG? Everyone's saying yes. Yikes. Don't get that RNG shit out of my games, dude. I don't want that. Nope. I would like no RNG, please. Trailers and footage do not do it justice, and no, it's to RNG. Okay, well, you're the only one saying that. You guys could all pick up Zelda Tears of the Kingdom 100% runs. That's great. You 100% all Korok seeds, please. Hey, Big A, thanks for all your incredible content. You've added a fantastic light to my life and brought together a fantastic community. I've gotten unfortunate news today, and it's a comfort to sit back and watch your stream. Thank you, Clays. I'm sorry to hear about your unfortunate news, and thank you for the kind words. I appreciate it. 20 months. I'm just checking your chat history. You are normally not this sincere. That's a very nice message, but I know your chat history is like glizzy, 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 glizzard, glizzard, glizzard. So I'm just checking. You're a big Giga Chase spammer and Smoothie King caller, so that's not too bad. Anyway, I hope you're doing well. Sorry about your unfortunate news. Big A, do you have the balls to try the infamous stinky tofu? Can I be honest? As a marketer, when you tell me that you've branded a food as stinky tofu, I say you've done a bad job. I say that it doesn't sound appetizing. It sounds unappealing. Why would you call it stinky tofu? I don't want my food to be stinky. Stinky tofu. What is it? Stinky tofu is a Chinese form of fermented tofu that has a strong odor. I probably like it. What the hell? Fuck it, dude. Awesome stinky tofu. Stinkier the better, dude. Make it really stank up. I love... This is nothing like that, but it's fermented kimchi. I love kimchi. I eat kimchi like it's going out of fucking style. Atrioc, when can we expect a return to smoothie content? I've never done smoothie content. I am and always have been the smoothie king. I like my tofu like I like my women. Extra stinky. Murmur, thank you for the 16 months. Another month not thanked. It's been hard. I thought it would be over after the 13th month. I guess not. Hopefully one day it'll end. Anyone know a way to get by? I just thanked you. This is me reading this is me thanking you because you understand? If the fact that I saw this message means that I have acknowledged your never thanked. When's the next job quitting stories segment? Did you watch the last one? I assume why you're asking. Did that look planned to you? Did that look like I was like, oh, let me check the calendar. Today is job quitting stories day. Well, we better knock this out. Do you understand? That was completely impromptu. So it was fun, but I don't. Honestly, if you've watched any of my streams ever, do you ever see me with a fucking calendar that I open up and I'm like, okay, today's this thing and this thing? Very rarely. We have Marketing Monday that doesn't even happen on Monday, and everything else is kind of freeballing. We figure it out, bro. We put it. We adapt. You have a whiteboard? My whiteboard says Big A Wards on it. Can't get rid of that. It also says record VO for Quack. It's right there. That is for a Hitman horse from fucking 6 months ago, I think. Atrioc, when was your last IRL brain blast? I don't know. The last time I can remember that I could point to, like on, I guess on stream, brain blast, was when I figured out how to warp off of Ash Twin and Outer Wilds. That really felt like like in my mind, I was like, it clicked and it was awesome. That was a really fun moment. I'm surprised House gets that every day and isn't more joyful. But I don't know, in IRL. I guess I had a brain blast recently, not too recently, but a little while back. Oh, actually, wait. Can I tell you something interesting? I had the very first, maybe in my life, YouTube comment that was insightful. Wait, I want to shout this person out. It was amazing. I always give attention to the bad stuff. I read a YouTube comment and I was like, wait, that's fucking smart. That's just a smart thought. Dude, where did I put this? And I responded to it. Wait, this blew my mind. It wasn't like incredibly deep or anything, but it was a smart thought. And I was like, wait, that's really cool. Is this all I want to do? Yeah, I think it was on this video. Okay. Where the fuck? Yeah, here it is. Okay. Look. This motherfucker right here. Lucas McName. This video is about a bunch of things, but like, the idea of games as a service and switching to Ubisoft Premium Plus and like, Xbox Game Pass and all that. And he's like, the reason people haven't switched to streaming is because cable sucked and Netflix and Hulu at that time had everything. So it was an easy switch and a better service because you weren't locked in and you couldn't watch on-demand content without recording before not ads. Game Pass has never been as good, as easy to transition to as Netflix in 2015, and it never will be because, anyway, the point is, I read this message and I was like, whatever. And then I thought about it and I'm like, there's some real truth to this. Because if you flash back to 2013-14 era, the process of going off of cable onto streaming was so amazing. It was so easy because the content owners didn't know the value of their content. So they gave everything to Netflix for pennies. So Netflix had Friends, The Office, every major series, their own individual series. They had everything. And so, it was like, from a consumer POV, brain dead easy to switch over. But in gaming, from the very beginning, everybody has known the value of their content. And so it's all been siloed. I mean, we've had competing Game Passes from NVIDIA and everywhere else, and Xbox and PlayStation from the beginning. Many games are hardware locked, so they can only be played on PC or they can only play it on PS5 or Epic or Xbox. And so there's like no, Game Pass is leading, but like there's no real easy slam dunk transition. So the consumer has never seen like the dream version. Like in streaming, the consumer is still chasing that high of Netflix 5 years ago when it was like $7 and you had everything. But they got to taste it and they loved it. And so they're still like, do you know what I'm saying? I thought that was a very insightful way of how this, even though everyone calls it like, oh, the inevitable Netflix of gaming, it's very different. It doesn't have that easy on-ramp that the other one did. So yeah, that is cool. I got distracted when he mentioned Dream. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I don't know what to tell you. I didn't even. Even back in the day, COD DLC used to come out with Xbox. What is this? Used to come out Xbox first, then PC, then PS5. It's always been like that. Yeah, exactly. I just think in gaming, it has never been so obvious of a switch onto a streaming service. What is the marketing analysis now? Cigarettes have become cool again for Gen Z. Is it because of the movies and the rock music? I don't think cigarettes are cool again for Gen Z. At least I don't think Gen Z is using cigarettes at a higher rate than previous generations. They're doing other things. Yeah, they're doing Zins, and they vaped extensively. I think vaping may have a bit of fall off, but cigarette sales are not up with Gen Z. They got what are the Elf bars? They got all that shit, but they're not fucking buying a pack of Marlboro Lights, dude. Cigarettes are so cool, but I don't want lung cancer. Did you ever hear about the tech CEO that... Wait, sorry. I am Gen Z. They are coming back. All right, well, let's not use anecdotal evidence. Let's just check. Are cigarette sales up with Gen Z? I mean, it looks like Gen Z is the lowest smoking generation. Millennials, 44%. Gen Z, 29%. Gen Z smoking cigarettes. I mean, let's see. Maybe it's coming back. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. Oh, here's a news talk article. I don't know about news talk, but look at this. Vapes aren't as cool. Are Gen Z bringing back cigarettes? Okay, wait. I don't know about news talk, but this is July 23. Celebrity influence and a nihilistic outlook on life, according to Guardian writer Elena Dimopoulos. Increasing number of young celebrities photograph smoking. Anya Taylor-Joy is getting you to smoke again? This is it? This is the reason? Gen Z sees this and thinks, yes, hell yes. I'd smoke a cig for Princess Peach. I mean, this again, maybe this is more of a TikTok trend than in the numbers, but I'm open to the idea that celebrities start smoking and then it hits TikTok and then later on we have a smoking problem with Gen Z. That makes sense. That tracks. That could happen. Tobacco industry has never been killed. Every time you think they're knocked out, they come back with something else. So it's like, if this is what it takes, but I just don't, I don't, even this article says, I don't think Gen Z is doomed to be the generation that totally brings back smoking. Interesting. Dublin teenagers are rolling their own cigarettes rather than buying a pack. A vape doesn't have the cool factor that a cigarette does. Seeing someone hit a vape is never going to be the same as seeing someone take a long drag on the cigarette. So fucking true, dude. So fucking true. You got that hand-rolled cig, just staring off in the distance, never owning a house. Damn, Gen Z's got it made, dude. That's actually so sick, you guys. I'm jealous. No. That's sick. That's awesome. Fucking just no house, half your money on credit card, other half on Afterpay. Just fucking distant look in your eyes at age fucking 23. Big fucking drag. Feels like it's probably not as bad in the U.S., but veils are absolutely everywhere. Wait, what is veils? Veils? Veils. Are you saying vapes or you vapes are a bit bad in the U.S. too. Are you typo? No, I actually thought veils, because we're talking about cigarettes. I know vapes are up. I thought you were trying to say cigarettes. The veil is huge. You guys don't understand. Maybe not in the U.S., but the veil is fucking massive in Europe, dude. That's what you don't fucking get. He's crushing it. Super anecdotal, but a lot of people around me have started doing it once in a blue moon, but not necessarily chain smoking. All right, listen, I'm open to new data, bro. All my data about cigarette sales being down is again from like early to mid 23. So if you're telling me in the last 6-8 months, cigarettes have become more and more popular, it's trending upwards, I will 100% believe you. Okay? But I would love to see, you know, a little bit more than what I've seen. Let me look at it a little bit, because this is interesting. I'm interested in this. I don't have any 24. Oh, here's an interesting one from the Independent. Okay, wait, look at this. Look. This is recent. This is the most recent article I can find. This is December 23. Why smoking is back in fashion for Gen Z. Okay. Surely all the cool kids will never take up smoking now that there are flavored vapes. Well, that's what the science said, but a new generation has decided otherwise, says Rachel Richardson. Let's see. Oh, okay. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to buy this. Remind me to cancel it. All the live long day. I have to give a birth year. It doesn't scroll back that far. It stops at 1850, dude. That's for youngsters. What do you want me to do? I can't. That's crazy. All the live long day. Anecdotal, but there's been a serious uptick in Siggy videos on TikTok. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm hearing loud and clear that TikTok, as a vector for culture, is influencing people to smoke cigarettes more than vapes. And that maybe we're in the early innings of possibly an actual uptick in the data of Gen Z smoking more. I fully believe it. I'm going to read this article and find out more. All right, I bought it. Continue. Let's go. Could you just get the Independent, bro? Give me. There it is. Refresh. Okay. After surviving 23 days deprived of food, hot showers, and a flushable toilet, Sam Thompson emerged from the I'm a Celebrity jungle, desperate for one thing: a drag on a cigarette. The 31-year-old made in Chelsea's 31 years old. This guy's not Gen Z. This bro's a Hufflepuff. Puffed away at the show's rap, but I guess he's cool, right? He's cool. He's on TikTok. I see. Okay. The Bear star, Jeremy Allen White, again, not Gen Z. Pop star Rosalia, maybe Gen Z. Actor Paul Mescal, not Gen Z. TikToker Victoria Paris, maybe. And while they have to huddle outside and enjoy a ciggy, they're on the inside track of a trend where smoking's making a comeback. Okay. A new study has revealed that more young people in England took up smoking during the pandemic, stagnating the years-long decline among 18 to 24-year-olds. Before COVID, the number of people smoking overall was falling 5.2% a year. But since 2020, the rate of decrease has slowed to okay, so it's basically flatlined. At my retail job, smokers get a 5-minute, we're not going to say that word, because even though they're using it as A 5-minute smoke break every hour, whereas non-smokers don't get anything. So that's what got me started. That is so funny to start smoking for the breaks. But I guess it kind of, I guess I get it in a way. Can't you just like, I don't know. Isn't there, I feel like, yeah, couldn't you just lie? Right? Or like, I guess there is something social about it, right? I do think there's something social about going out with somebody, having a smoke break, you talk, you commiserate, the boss sucks. That's kind of cool. I get that. Yeah, I wish it wasn't unhealthy, but I'll happily take lung cancer for a 5-minute break each hour. That is a trade-off, bro. Amen. There's that trademark Gen Z nihilism. I tried a single cigarette as a joke one day, and I've been smoking for 3 years now. As a joke? What was the joke? Who laughed? That's how it goes. I guess that's how it goes. That's our brains, dude. Human brains suck. Human brains are just fucking weak as shit, bro. This is everything they warned us about in assembly. Let me see what else. Is there anything else I can see? I want to get more into the rationale here. After experimenting with vaping, he moved on to Sovereign cigarettes. I would vape too much as I could just keep going and going with it. In the end, I switched to cigarettes because I liked that there was an end point. What a full circle twist that we have gone from using vaping to quit smoking to using smoking to quit vaping. That's hilarious. Think about how cosmically crazy that is. There was like years of ads about how great vaping is for getting off of smoking. And now we have Gen Z being like, yeah, bro, vaping is so bad for me. I need to smoke because it's got an endpoint. That's wild. This is just fucking rage bait. I'm sorry. I got hooked by it. Gen Z musician urges people to stream her music because she cannot do a 9 to 5. Go off, queen. People gotta like it though. People gotta like the music. That's boomer rage bait, bro. That's boomer rage bait. I mean, I can already, you can just feel the comments right now. Excuse me, back in my day, I did a 9 to 5. Just fucking, if you could power a car on rage bait, we wouldn't need oil anymore. After this fucking article, it would keep all of the fucking vehicles running. Can we just read the comments? Let's do it. Let's just fucking take a peek. There's only one comment. Oh, probably because it's a fucking paywalled article that nobody reads. Just Opta Ardua saying, and just why was this article about another spoiled child published? Wow. I am truly in a ghost town. Oh, it's from the end wokeness. We can see right here. Let's see some of the comments. Okay. Why with the pink hair? It's like, why with the phones? Okay, well, I'm not gonna. I actually clicked it. Now I'm gonna get fucking and wrote this fucking shit linked at me. Anyway, I want to read more about the smoking. Smoking. Okay. There's a layer of mindfulness to smoking. It's a meditative act and ritualistic. It's also interesting that smoking is rising amongst Gen Z as they are turning away from alcohol, which actually increases anxiety. Are we therapy talking smoking now? Are we therapy rationalizing smoke? I thought we're pretty well established. We figured out smoking was bad for you so long ago. It's been like grinding it down for 70 years. Nostalgia for 90s culture. I get that. Gen Z making up for lost time in lockdown or playing a part. I do agree there's been a bit of a hedonist wave post-pandemic. You can see it with revenge spending on travel and debt-fueled purchases, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That definitely tracks. And I think it could also track into smoking. That makes sense. For Mace, though, the biggest plus is that smoking helps him meet people. I'm sorry, this stream is turning into an ad for smoking. It's like fucking supers in my chat are like, wait, what? I can meet people. It's therapeutic. Stops my anxiety. Everybody packs, dude. Okay, wait. We skipped to one part. Mace doesn't buy that smoking is cool, but he does think that some of his fellow smokers may think it's taboo. It's proven that smoking is deadly, he says. I know smoking will kill me, but I could also die completely unrelated to smoking tomorrow. It's a bit of a cop-out. But that logic could justify literally any stupid action ever. That is literally, you know what I'm saying? That literally would justify anything. It's driving without a seatbelt. That's fucking driving with a blindfold on. You only YOLO once, dude. They have inherited an absolute dumpster fire. They might not be able to ever buy a house and the planet is burning, so a lot of them think, why not? You do hear this refrain a lot. Any article about Gen Z is like the big two. It's like leggy hurdy for house. Your leggy hurdy is I can't buy a house. There's also millennials too. Same thing. Just get on Vicodin, dude. Just get on Vicodin. Just wait until Gen Alpha gets on their fentanyl grind set. Bro, Gen Alpha's gonna... I don't know what they're gonna do. Gen Alpha. I feel like Gen Alpha, not that they're planning this, but is basically banking on the world becoming the world from WALL-E. If we get to WALL-E world by the time Gen Alpha turns 30, they're great. They're set. They're actually perfectly aligned. And if we don't, then I think they're in a rougher spot. Millennials are just lazy. Gen Z have it hard for real. I've never seen... I like flipping the order on calling them lazy. Yeah, no, you guys are probably right. You guys are all about the grind set, huh? And then lazy ass millennials. I don't agree, but any excuse to say millennials suck. Interesting. Gen Alpha will never write an essay in their life. Probably true. Yeah, probably true. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, not like in the same way. They'll never, that's facts, but, you know, I've read some essays by millennials and by Gen Z, and they're not that good. So it's not like we were crushing it, you know? It's like, it was fading out anyway. We haven't been generationally wise good essay writers in a while. It's the fucking Renaissance, bro. What about video essays? Now we're talking. Now video essays through the roof. There's a theory that in WALL-E, the food is made from the dead customers. Okay. Thanks, man. That WALL-E thing was a bit 8 minutes ago. I'm not. I'm with you. I just not. You know, I'm not trying to. I don't need Matt Pat, dude. You said you were tired. You're in my chat still. Fucking. You can't get off the juice. My little cousin's teacher had to say "skibbity stop" to get her class to stop talking. Bro, I have to fucking moo to get you guys to stop talking sometimes. All right? Don't act like you're fucking above it. Don't act like you're fucking so much better than these kids. Skibbity stop's crazy. That's crazy. But that, yeah, I don't know. That, you know, I got to avoid the urge to be like, that's really stupid. Because it could be a teacher being like, I don't know, fucking making Power Rangers jokes or something when I don't know, something. Atrioc, you should watch all of the Zoom commercials that aired tonight. Truly one of the commercials of all time. Wait, what do you mean? There's a new Zoom commercial? Oh, there is. Zoom has already locked up the most annoying commercial of the year award.
Introducing Zoom!
With Zoom Team Chat, you can stay connected with your team across channels. With the new Zoom AI Companion, available at no additional cost, you can recap your meetings, summarize missed chats, and draft responses in real time. And with Zoom Phone, you can access your work phone on any device, even landlines. And those are just some of the ways that Zoom is so much more than Zoom.
They want to be Teams so bad. Bro, don't act like Teams is fucking amazing. Teams is trash. They just fucking bundle it with Office. So every fucking Office switch and they won by default. Both of them wanted to be Slack, but Slack didn't have the scale. So Slack's going to get fucking crunched out by better funded competitors. What's interesting about Zoom, that ad did was kind of shitty. I mean, the whole point is like, this is really a business to business ad. Like, people don't pay for Zoom on their own. So as a consumer ad during a football game, it's just annoying. Like, no one even cares. Either your business makes you do it or it doesn't. But Zoom stock. What I think is interesting is that Zoom stock, you know, Zoom got a once in a fucking 100-year generationally good event, the pandemic, putting everybody from home and making them the default for a brief period of time. And they are exactly where they were before the pandemic. Actually down. They're down from 2019. That's crazy. Do you understand how crazy that is? Like, that's God handing you a freebie and you can't maintain anything? It's absurd. It's a cosmic fumble. They couldn't lock in any corporate users to get recurring revenue. They couldn't. I don't know. It's just, I feel like they wasted their moment in time. It's a Foreman fumble. We call that a Foreman fumble where I'm from. It's probably that expensive office building in San Jose. I assume that would be empty. Actually, didn't Zoom require a return to office, which is also really funny. Why not sell to a bigger company so they can use the IP? That would have been a great idea. That would have been a fantastic idea. If they, at the peak of 2021, was like, hey, this is obviously not going to be permanent. Our stock is incredibly elevated. Let's fucking sell. Let's sell to Microsoft. Let's sell to somewhere else. Let's fucking get out. They would have cashed out fucking all-time highs. Excellent stewardship. And instead, they ran that thing fucking down. They didn't partner with anybody. They could have partnered up with a bigger company. They could have partnered up with Salesforce. They could have partnered up with Slack. They could have tried to make a bigger combined offering so that they could have a better value prop to businesses instead of teams. But they didn't do anything. They did the fucking the Clubhouse. The fucking Clubhouse strategy, which is like, hey, we're never going to stop growing. We'll take any buyout offers. And then they just fucking run it into the ground. That's just dumb. It's just dumb. Why do you think they didn't? Yeah, either overconfidence or they thought they had a lot more time than they did. I mean, a lot of people, myself included, thought the work from home wave, which still exists, but I thought it would be more widespread and for longer than it was. Like, a lot of offices are still back to work or like days in office. And I think a lot of businesses were more confident that would be the case. I mean, many managers and companies and CEOs were like, we're going to be the most flexible company of the future and we're going to be work from home forever. And then they changed their mind like 3 months later. Um, I go in once a month, maybe. I mean, listen, people are still, the working hours are way more flexible. People work from home way more often. People have hybrid schedules now. People coffee badge now. There's a lot of ways around it. People aren't, work from home is definitely here to stay in some way. And if you are a non-tier 1 office building in the downtown, you're getting fucked right now because you can't fill your spots. Commercial real estate's in a huge fucking collapsing bubble. I did say the word coffee. But that's what's happening. So it is happening, but I thought it would be more widespread, to be honest. More widespread and faster. My office recently soft banned work from home. Yeah, but what does that mean, soft banning? Does it mean like, hey, you have to come in a couple days a week? Or does it mean you have to come in every single day, 9 to 5, and we're checking? And you know what? Like, what is it? Because people, a lot of jobs, especially any job where it's like an email, Zoom, meetings, on a computer, most of your day type job. It's like, you go into the office and you do the exact same thing you do at home. You call into meetings. So it's not, people go in and they realize there's nothing is different. And so, once they've tasted the freedom of going, it's just, there's too much stress. Have you seen the research/trials about a 4-day working week? Yeah, it was better. Yeah, I did see the Scotland trials on the 4-day work week. They had higher productivity and they were happier. And I think it's probably true. Yeah, I really have no thing to it. But I also think that I almost believe that those studies would always show that because human beings are just so much happier with 1 day less of work. Like, I think they could do it with 1 day a week and I think it would still show it. Because I honestly believe that. I just think, I don't know how it would. I don't know how it would add up, but I think that it would. So I have trouble like hyper trusting that it truly, like if you were a business owner, that you would truly see just bottom line instant benefits. But I know people will be happier. I remember there was a study where they increased light and dimmed light, and both times productivity increased. Placebo effect, kind of. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, it could even be like, if people know they're being studied, they'll work harder. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they know they're being studied, they'll get more work done. There could be a lot. You got to make sure that it's... I fully believe people are happier. I fully believe they're happier. I don't know how much more they're getting done. I do think that, like, many people have, like, they don't work on Fridays. Like, they go into the office, but they're like soft. It's like they're doing way fucking less than a normal day. It's and if you try to like even put a meeting on that day, people get mad at you. I remember I did it around, there was some shit I was really motivated at in NVIDIA, and I was like, we got to get this done. This is a really big deal. And I like did a fucking 8-person meeting on Friday, and people were pissed. I did it at like 4:30 p.m. on a Friday. I did like an hour and a half brainstorm. And people were just like, they were just not having it. They were just not having it, dude. They were actually fucking mad. Sorry that I love corporate profits. Okay. Sorry, I want Jensen Huang to make more money. Oh, lock me up, dude. I want a billionaire to make more money. Is that a problem? Okay. He's my leader. He is my liege. He is my goat. The workday ends at lunch on Friday. I agree with you. I agree with you. Listen, I had to learn. This is more like my second year in NVIDIA, or second year. This is pre-COVID. I was in full grind set mode. And I was like, we got to do this meeting, 4:30. I would reject a 4:30 meeting on Friday on God. What's just funny is like, maybe you've been in one, maybe you haven't, but like brainstorm meeting is the worst one to do because a brainstorm meeting doesn't have an end and it's really meandering. Like it always takes the full time. You know, if there's like an hour and a half booked, like realistically it takes the whole time unless you come up with a slam dunk idea. And people just like, there's no goal. There's no goal in a brainstorm meeting. I grew frustrated with them over my time, but in the beginning I was more into it. Because brainstorm meetings, people will just say, whatever. I mean, I don't know why. I think I've used this example before, but I distinctly remember it, which is somebody that kept pitching like, like blimps, like G-force blimps, like floating over the fucking keynote. And I was like, bro, I just don't, you know, and you have to, it's a corporate meeting, so you can't just be like, this is stupid. You can never, ever, not once, be like, this is stupid. You always have to be like, okay, all right, we'll write that down. Maybe we'll, you know, and it's just like, so, yeah, we'll circle back to that. Yeah, you say that. But sometimes you have to like entertain it and think it through. And then like you have to find a way to like, because you don't want to be the guy also in a brainstorm meeting who's like explaining why you can't do that. Someone might give an idea, like someone's like, let's do this. And you go, well, that won't work because of budget. And then someone goes, let's do this. And you're like, oh, that won't work. You don't want to be that guy. You never want to be pigeonholed to be the fucking, that stupid guy. Okay. So you have to be like, you have to give ideas their due. Someone Poop City. Wow, Poop City has been in this meeting situation. I don't know why your name is Poop City, but yeah, you ask, what do you like? What do you like? What do you like about that idea? what attaches you to that idea so much? What draws you to that? And you try to get them to like come to the conclusion it's bad on their own. That's the really good way to do it, is you try to like get them to talk through it, and eventually they'll say like, it's kind of stupid. You know that, and it really works. If you let them talk about it enough, they'll like walk through the details of why they don't want to work on it. And then they'll be like, you know, I was just spitballing. Corporate culture of having to be overly nice to not hurt ego seems like it creates a gigantic waste of time and problems. Counterpoint, in real life, house doesn't exist. You know what I'm saying? So in real life, being an asshole only works if you're always right. And the second you are an asshole and then wrong, it creates this unbelievable rift in the team. People can disagree and commit, but they have to trust that you are, you know, that you're giving the right direction. But if you shoot down other ideas, force one down mid, and then are wrong, you've just lost all trust. And so, you know, in general, you have to work with these people day in and day out. So that's why the culture of overt niceness comes in, is because people don't want to burn a bridge with someone that they work with every day over an idea that is probably marginally better or worse than another idea. Yeah, I mean, again, I agree with you. I agree with you on some level that it drains you. Corporate meeting culture drains you. It drains your soul a little bit at a time. It's like a fucking passive debuff. But I'm just telling you why it exists, why people do it. My PM got so butthurt from our dev meeting. People still say butthurt. I feel like kids in 7th grade used to say butthurt all the time, dude. Why are you so butthurt about this? I feel like butthurt's really dated. My PM got so butthurt from our dev meetings that she personally asked higher ups to remove our dev lead from meetings about products. Yes, dude. There's that office fucking culture. People in Australia literally have to work upside down. I think we're okay. Okay. Hey, Joey Axolotl. Thank you for the 3 months. Atrioc, I want to learn how to play Fizz. Do you have any tips, perchance? I have a guide. Go watch the greatest fizz guide ever written. Okay, there's videos. 3, 2, 1, jump. You gotta yell shark, dude. Atrioc, are you gonna play Power World? No. I mean, currently, no. My thesis on Power World is that it's gonna be exactly like New World. And everyone's gonna think it's fucking the shit and dope, and then like a week later, no one's gonna play it. That's my thesis. If I'm wrong, which I can be, I have been, happens, I will play it because I have always wanted a Pokemon MMO. But I just get a vibe from it. I get a vibe that it's real flash in the panty. But I could be wrong. My signals could be miscalibrated for something so new and different. Atrioc, are you gonna? What did you say? Atrioc, are you gonna play the Harry Potter game? I did play the Harry Potter game. I told this story. I played the Harry Potter game for fucking 4 minutes. I played the beginning. I got sorted into my house. I'm walking around, and then I'm like, "Oh, what's that over there? I want to go see it." And then I walked off of the path, and then the whole game flashed red, and there was a big red fucking band sign. It's like, "Go back on the path. Walk only on the path." And then I got pissed. And then I closed the game down, and I fucking I sold it, or I fucking refunded it. And yeah, people told me, hey, you know what? That's like that goes away. And I'm like, yeah, you're probably right, but it pissed me off. You know why? Because I remember fucking 10 years before that opening Oblivion with my little brother, and we saw a mountain a million miles away. We're like, let's go to that, and we just ran off. And I liked that, and I wanted to do that, and then I couldn't do that, and I was pissed. I was like, what the fuck? You're restricting me? Atrioc, are you going to play the new Final Fantasy VII game? Absolutely not. Would you have sex with Harry Potter? No, I would not have sex with Harry Potter. He's the boy who lived, okay? I show some respect. Atrioc, could you smoke a muggle? When you say smoke a muggle, do you mean kill a person? I'm sorry. Do you mean murder a human being? That feels like openly talking about a crime. I don't think I want to. No, not a person, a muggle. Okay, whoa, we got a pureblood over here. Oh, okay, we got a Death Eater. All right, my fellow fucking millennials. This guy knows his shit. This guy's in character. He's OC. How many subs to smoke a cig on stream? I don't have a cigarette near me. And also, it wouldn't even be about the subs or the health problems of cigarettes. It would be that if I smoked a cigarette on stream, you guys would call me fucking cigarette Charlie or something for fucking 400 years. It's just not, it wouldn't be worth it. It would be, you know what I'm saying? It just wouldn't be fucking Siggy Sam or something. Yeah, I was just like, oh god, so annoying. Tobacco Terry, you guys get it. And then it would fucking rattle around forever, and it would be worse than the cigarettes. I would fucking have to smoke more to speed up my death. Lazarus, thank you for the 26-month and your nice message. Professor Doofus, thank you for the prime. DT, thank you for the 11 months. Cube, thank you for the 7 months. Mobile Keys, thank you for the 9 months. Lucasite, thank you for the prime. PDX Dario, thank you for the 5 months. CSV3PO, thank you for the 13. Codaplane, Killer RPG, and Ted the Toad, thank you for the subs. My Indian coworker visited the U.S. office and nobody smoked except for another guy on H-1B. Yeah, I think smoking is more common outside of the U.S. for sure. I mean, generally we've ground it down. Smoking has been ground down over the years in the United States, but it is popping back up apparently. Actually, I wanted to read a little bit more about that. It definitely seems like the UK is a place where it's really rising. Interesting that it's kind of proven that vaping literally is less risky and less lethal than smoking, according to this article. The risks of vaping are substantially lower than the risks of smoking. I'll be honest, I wasn't fully aware of that. But not cool, though. 10 gifted. Did I miss it? Oh, sorry. Thanks for the 10 gifted. Who did it? Oh, Robert Stacks. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Robert Stacks. Low God, thank you for the 3 months. Smoking. They need to make a vape that looks like a cig. First of all, they have e-cigs. And secondly, we're fucking mix and matching cigs and vapes and cigs and vapes and vapes into cigs and quitting cigs with vapes and vapes with cigs. Just, you know what I'm saying? If you want to smoke, smoke. But you don't need fucking 400 things around it. What about IV nicotine? I think... oh, wait. It talks about snooze. Oral nicotine pouches known as snooze have seen a massive spike in popularity. These pouches, which are placed under the top lip between 5 and 10 minutes, do not contain tobacco, but are packed with nicotine. They originated from Sweden and go by brand names, including Nordic Spirit, Velo, and Zyn. Zinners, rise up, baby! Have come under scrutiny after a number of Premier League footballers were seen using them. Up to 40% of players are using it. Sheesh. Smoking is the primary cause of preventable illness and premature death in England, accounting for approximately 74,600 deaths a year. Interesting. I thought the number one cause of death was too many beans. So I was wrong. Mom of two, Jane Edwards, shares a concern after watching her teenage son make the leap from vaping to cigarette smoking. My eldest is 19. He would chain vape all the time. Chain vape to me sounds like a spell in Dark Souls. I feel like if someone is chain vaping, I see like blue light and they're like killing 4 enemies at once. It's having the... we might be causing the next smoking epidemic through people getting into electronic. Yeah, I mean, whatever, bro. You know, if you're British, how do you put up with that every day without fucking taking the edge off? Yo, what's up, Mr. Go Live? What's good? What's good? My brother started using Zyn to trick himself into being addicted so he could study for medical school. First of all, not tricking yourself. You're just getting addicted. Secondly, he's studying for medical school, which would be the worst school of all time to be doing Zyn to trick yourself into studying. It's a crazy gambit. Are you saying he's doing a thing where every time he sits down to study, he's doing a Zyn so that his mind thinks studying is dope? So he's only allowing... The problem is, you know how human brains work, dude. He's just going to stop studying. He's just going to start doing Zins outside of it. You know what I'm saying? Very soon he's going to sit down and then close the book. Do you understand? You understand? We know that's what's going to happen. So it's like your fucking brilliant tactic has just got you hooked on fucking tobacco or nicotine for 20 years. Then why do you keep Golden Grams near your stream computer? Well, actually, I am fully addicted to Golden Grams, and I openly admit I have a problem because there is no box near me. Do you know why? Because I ate the whole thing after stream last night. Housed it. I housed that box. Ari and I watched a show after stream. Gone. Housed it. I literally cannot have a box of tasty dry cereal near me and not eat it. It's my favorite snack. It's so fun. It brings me incredible joy, and that's why I don't buy it. But whenever I do buy it, I eat the whole box like in a day or two. Hey, Atrioc, after watching your Portal Revolution playthrough, I fear you have brain rot and you need to submit yourself to more puzzle games. You think I have brain rot and I need to do more puzzle games? How do you invest in bonds? This isn't Google, man. Are you are you like fucking 80-year-olds in the wrong chat? This isn't Google. Go to treasurydirect.gov. You can buy them direct from the government and get an incredibly safe. What's the current fucking 6-month rate? 5.21%, dude. You get 5.21% just sitting there for 6 months. No risk, unless the government, literally the government fails. And you can just sit. It's like better than cash. And you can ride out any fucking craziness. I think it's fucking amazing. Still barely above inflation rate? Well, not if inflation keeps going the way it has. Currently, inflation's at... Let's check Trueflation, dude. What are we at? What are we at? I feel like it's under... It's at fucking 2 or under 2. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, you had I-bonds? Oh, I wish I had, dude. If you get I-bonds, they have like this inflation-adjusted coupon attached where whatever the CPI is, it adds that percent on top. So it costs you a little more up front, but like you can get 8-9% now if you bought them pre... God, that's sick. Well done. How do I short treasury bills? What do you mean? I mean, I guess you can probably, you can short anything. There's a way to short it, but but I think the only way you would make money on shorting a T-bill is if the yield rose. The yield would rise, so the value would fall. So they'd have to raise rates, which they're not going to do. My investment portfolio is filled with cereal now. Okay. You're buying Kellogg's, huh? They get physical. He's a cereal investor. He's a Kellogg stock. Let's see. Imagine you did. Okay, well, Kellogg stock is currently down on the 6 months, year to date, 1 year, and 5 year. So you're buying the dip. Let's buy the dip on Kellogg's and we're going to bounce it back, dude. We're going to turn it back. Did they split the stock? Yeah, my understanding is now it is Kellanova, I'm sorry, which is a separate company. Maybe they haven't split it yet, though. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the structure is on that. What's General Mills at? General Mills stock. General Mills, look at that. Up on the 5 year. Way down on the 1 year. Bad year for General Mills. People stopped eating cereal. Price hikes sentiment. Oh, you mean pricing power? Oh, you mean finally corporations are realizing that if they keep raising prices, eventually people will find a substitute? They no longer continually raise prices into inflation and have people just grit their teeth and pay up? Holy shit. And this is happening not just in General Mills, but a lot of corporations all over that are finding they can no longer just raise prices year after year. And it's hitting their demand and their stock price. Insane. Shocking. $6 for a bag of Doritos is insane. Is that what Doritos are at right now? It's a bag of Doritos, Michael. What could it cost? $6? I'm sorry. I went to Amazon. Wait, what? I went to Amazon.com and I can't show this to you because that's my address, but it says I just searched for Doritos. I can buy a 1 ounce bag of Doritos repackaged for $14.99. Repackaged by a brand named Renegade Dimensions. 1 ounce. That's awesome. That's a steal. I better lock that up. Get him secondhand drug front. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Anyway, I guess we closed out this thought, but I do think that you guys were right on some level. There is a resurgence in smoking among Gen Z. I don't know what the actual stats are, but very clearly, you're not the only ones to notice this trend. Gen Z thinks smoking cigarettes is cooler than they used to 6 months ago, and it's rising, which is interesting. I don't know if you guys know this. Smoking is really good for you. It's like fucking crazy good for you. So, like, if you are thinking about it from this, like if anything I said today makes you want to do it, get into it as much as you can. In the gas station buying packs right now. Thank you, Big A. What's everybody's favorite gas station snack? Let's say you're on a road trip, okay? You've been driving for 4 hours. You guys never drove. Half of you don't have your license. Okay, your parents are driving. And it's 4 hours, and you pull over, and it's a gas station, and you're a little tired, and you need a pick-me-up, and you don't care about the health. You don't care about anything. What are you honestly getting? Because for me, every single time, without fail, it is that, what is that? The green naked juice, Sour Patch Kids, and beef jerky. If I slam all 3 of those, I feel like fucking Popeye. I feel like I can go another fucking 7 hours. If I get those 3 things, I feel fucking on cloud 9. Nasty combination. Listen, I'm just a man who needs his fuel. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you get mad at a car for taking gasoline? No, that's the fuel. I need those 3 things, and I can go as long as I want. I can drive as long as I want. The green juice is great. It is like, I mean, it's got more sugar than like a fucking Hershey bar. You know, you look at the back, but it tastes great. That green juice tastes fucking phenomenal. That and Sour Patch Kids, bam, dude. Fucking, quit moving so fast, chat. I wanted to see my answer. Everybody shut up. Everybody shut up. Pineapple Bolt is talking. We're going to read Pineapple Bolt's gas station. Everyone shh. Okay? Pineapple Bolt, please regale us with your order. What do you get at a gas station so we can all see it, okay? Because everyone's interrupting you. Everyone's quiet, and you're going to speak right now, and you're going to say what you get at a gas station. Wild berry Skittles and a giant-ass Red Bull. Okay, whose turn is it now? Because we're going to pass the talking stick around. All right, no, wild berry Skittles and a giant-ass Red Bull. I mean, that seems good. That seems like it. Wild berry Skittles kind of fuck. Dude, I swear to God, I wish that candy was healthy, like really good for you. Because if it was, I would be the most nasty candy fiend of all time. I really have an addiction. I love candy. I have to avoid it at all costs. I love candy. It's my fucking, I got a sweet tooth like nothing else. Yeah, Yeah, like a 5-year-old. Yeah, exactly. I just love every 4-year-old POV be like, they're just gonna go so hard on fucking 4-year-old TikTok. I just love Candy. I think Candy fucking rocks. Do what the people who only eat meat do and just pretend that it's true and get really mad at anyone who says you're wrong. That's base. That's the American right. Our American right is to have an opinion, don't check on it, and then get fucking extra pissed at anybody that disagrees in any way. Any kind of, fact that contradicts it, let's just fucking triple down. I wonder when Joe Biden is going to give us all free candy. Rome reference. I was watching a Roman documentary last night. It was like a dramatization / documentary. And I guess we all knew this, but like, it was about Commodus. When he came to power and he was like, all right, bet people don't like me. I'm going to drain the whole fucking treasury of Rome on a bunch of games. Just a whole bunch of fucking gladiator games. And everyone's going to like me after that. And then the Senate was like, yo, bro, we can't actually afford this. And he's like, no, I got a plan. We're going to tax the Senate. And then he just put it all in the fucking, he just taxed the Senate directly. Like, he didn't even tax the people. It was actually kind of based. So, yeah, that was interesting. What is your opinion on people asking for your opinion on something they care about? I think they do it because they are waiting for their turn to speak. What they really want is to shift the conversation to something that they have something they want to say on. And then I say whatever, and then they go, okay, whatever. Now let me tell you, they want, nothing wrong with that. We all have things we want to talk about, but I can't be the sounding board for all of them. What's your opinion on Paw Patrol socks? I have no opinion on Paw Patrol socks, but I do have a funny story where my boss, who has a, 5-6-year-old daughter maybe, got dragged to Paw Patrol Live in San Francisco, which is a live show all about Paw Patrol. And he live texted me the entire time. So this was like, I think he left work early or something. So he was just texting me, and it was really, really funny because I would be at my computer working and I would get a text like, this dog just fucking killed another one. Or, he's like, this show's crazy. He was just telling me like, it makes no sense. Now they're singing the same song for the 4th time. It would just be like, he would just live text me. All right, boys, here's the thing. I'm thinking we might watch an interesting YouTube video and then watch House is sort of how I'm foreseeing this going. And the reason I'm saying that is because I worked a lot on predictions today and realized how much more I have to do. So many of my slides are placeholders with just text of what I need to add. I haven't got any of these videos that I need. I haven't got any of these visuals made. And so I got to work my ass off tomorrow to finish this. So I kind of just want to do one thing. What is oversimplified? Let's see. Oversimplified. Everyone's asking for it. Oversimplified.
This video was made possible.
He made a new video about the Second Punic War. Fuck it. Let's watch it. Right? Let's watch it. They have a recap too. All right, they're going to recap the First Punic War.
War between the two superpowers seemed inevitable. So if
Can I say what I know about this going in? All I know about this is that Hannibal's an ultimate Chad. He's like one of the GOAT generals of all time. And he marched his fucking elephants through the Alps. Which no one expected he could do. to get the fucking circle on the Romans, and then he beat them. And like the Romans until then were basically considered unbeatable, and he kind of fucked them up. So that's what I know about the Punic War thus far, but I don't think I know the rest. Have you heard of Scipio Africanus? Yeah, I do. I know that didn't they meet? Isn't there an amazing story of like way later in life they met and then they talk shit to each other? I feel like I remember talking about this with Toph, where he's like, real life is just like fucking the two like good players at a local who talk shit. Like at a fighting game local. Like they fought actual wars and then later on they were like, yeah, well, I would have won this. Like they just talk shit like that. It's crazy. It's crazy. That's like, what a weird thing to have happened in real life. And what's funny is I was in the room, but I was so sloshed. I was just drunk off my ass. So I wanted to say something funny and be like, I'm part of this story, but I couldn't get a word out because I was drunk, dude. So I kind of boofed it. Yeah.
You put a very strategically important island between them. 2 + 2 = war. Sicily was an island. Islands are surrounded by water.
Yep.
Charge! I guess we're just gonna have to go ahead and build ourselves a war fleet, aren't we? From scratch? From scratch. They developed ingenious new ways of waging war. They attempted an invasion of the Carthaginian heartland. Look at this thing. It's unbelievable. And whenever disasters struck them, they always came back, again and again. The Romans have built another fleet. Oh, for goodness sake! The Carthaginians later sent possibly the greatest military general of the time, a man named Hamilcar Barca, to the island.
Okay.
No. But in the end, it was Roman determination that won the fight. I just don't care! And you have to pay us 2,200 talents of silver over the next 20 years. Ay caramba! That will cripple us. One day, Carthage will have its revenge.
I don't think he said, "Ay caramba."
My beautiful son. You are vengeance.
Okay, the second Punic War, oversimplified. We are now set up. I feel like you guys all understand what happened now.
This video was made possible by NordVPN. Click the link below and get an exclusive deal with 4 extra months. Wow. Also, check out the merch store for some new character pins, the last remaining bucket plushies, and even a calendar.
Wow.
And I'm not done yet. We've partnered with U2s to bring you an
that's kinda cool.
oversimplified Roman consul figure. Get it while you can at Oversimplified.
Bro, I remember I was in conversations with U2s to make the Ghost figure. This is like 2022, the beginning of the year. And they had a mock-up for me, and it looked great, and it looked fucking sick, and I was so excited. And then, I don't know who it was. I feel like it was Ludwig, but maybe I'm wrong. Because he was the guy that introduced us. I feel like he said something about, is it a problem if it's from Fall Guys? And then they fucking found out it was from Fall Guys, and then they literally got spooked, and then they literally ghosted me. Fuck, dude. It might not have been Ludwig. I'm not sure. I feel like it was, but so really screwed me on that.
.u2s.com, but it's limited edition. So once it's gone, it's gone. So go and buy it
The
now.
ghost became the ghosted.
Hey,
so true.
What are you still doing here? I said go and buy it now. All right, our beloved mercenaries. Let's hear it. Okay. Thank you one and all for your hard work fighting in the first Punic War. Would have been nice if you'd won. Maybe tried a little harder. But this isn't the finger-pointing convention.
No, it's not.
I know you all have one thing on your minds.
Money!
Hey, when are we all getting paid? Remember you lost your... Okay.
Doesn't mean to my
Why
editors,
don't you
dude.
tell them? I'm not telling them, you tell them. Ugh. Look, you're not getting paid. What? We lost the First Punic War and owe the Romans a ton of reparations. Of course we can't pay you in full. Let's burn this place to the ground! Hey! Don't burn this place to the ground. Come on, fellas. Will killing us really make you feel better about your money? Yes. Way to go, sir. Shut up, Jim.
Problem with
You're
mercenaries.
fired. I guess that makes 2 of us. Huh? In the aftermath of the First Punic War, Carthage's disgruntled mercenaries, left unpaid for all their hard work, revolted, and Carthage found itself caught up in an extremely destructive mercenary war. The panicked Carthaginians hired more mercenaries to fight the mercenaries they couldn't afford to pay, and Carthage came dangerous.
That just that's fucking ninehead. That's crazy. That's like the U.S. government, bro. Fucking dead on dead.
Close to collapse. All the while, across the water, there was Rome. Ha! Look at those morons. We just kicked their ass in the First Punic War, and now their own mercenaries are revolting. Haha. Yeah. Wait, First Punic War? You mean there's going to be a second one? Well, we're definitely taking advantage of this situation. So almost certainly, yes. The Romans did, in fact, take advantage of the situation. Amongst the chaos, rebels on the Carthaginian island of Sardinia sent out a cry for help to Rome. Hot diggity dog, said the Romans.
I see.
That's free real estate. And so in they went. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's our island. Get the hell off. Hey, they requested our help. We're simply helping. Oh, no, you don't. Look, we're sending our own army to deal with the rebels, okay? But just to be clear, we're not trying to start a fight with you, so, you know, don't declare war on us or anything. War! We surrender! Great. And as part of the peace treaty, we get to keep these islands.
Outplayed.
The Carthaginians were hopping mad. As if their humiliating loss in the First Punic War wasn't bad enough, the Romans now took advantage of their mercenary problem and stole their islands. This shocking land grab was pretty hard to justify, even by Roman standards. Additionally, the Romans now demanded Carthage pay them even more money on top of what was already owed. If Rome was trying to make Carthage as mad as possible, they were doing a fantastic job.
Yeah,
the seeds of a second Punic War were being
like
sown,
post-World
and
War
they
I.
were being watered with Carthaginian tears. Resentment in Carthage only continued to grow. Eventually, Carthage solved their mercenary problem thanks to Carthaginian military genius and hero of the First Punic War, Hamilcar. Barca.
Hamilcar?
He sorted those naughty mercenaries
Where's
out with some
Where's
good
not
old-fashioned
Hamilton?
atrocities,
Where's Hannibal?
And the destructive mercenary war was over.
I don't think he spanked
Still,
them.
all was not well in Carthage.
This is his dad?
Decades
Okay.
ago, they were the top dogs in the
Oh,
Western
sheesh.
Mediterranean. Now, after the crushing defeat
Father
in the
and
First
son?
Punic War and a huge bill to pay the Romans, Carthage was well and truly under Rome's thumb. What on earth were they supposed to do? If they wanted any chance at regaining their former strength, there was one thing they needed now, more than anything.
Money!
Money. But as long as they owed Rome $1 bazillion,
Just don't pay
there
for
was
it.
nothing they could do. Fortunately for them, amongst their ranks, there was one big hunk of a man with one big clump of a brain. Me, Hamilcar Barca. Yes. Wait, why do you all have the exact same voice? I have it too. That's right. Hero of the First Punic War.
Okay.
Greatest general alive. And the poster above my bed. Hamilcar Barca had an idea. All right, we need money? Well, I've got one word for you. Spain. An area filled with lucrative silver mines, from which the silver would flow like a river, and our pockets would be stuffed, like Tony's mother at a buffet. Hey! So here's my proposal. You send me with an army to Spain. I'll expand our territory, get those silver mines up and running, and we'll be able to pay the Romans back in no time.
Genius.
Okay. But just to check, you're not secretly raising the money to go on a bloodthirsty revenge spree against Rome, are you? Because we can't afford that. Hanno, my dear, I'm simply going to pay them back. Well, that wasn't reassuring. Few in Carthage were as bitter about their loss in the First Punic War as Hamilcar Barca. 98% of his brain matter had been reallocated to thoughts of revenge. He was also fed up with the Carthaginian politicians for what he deemed a cowardly betrayal when they surrendered at the end of the last war. And so for Hamilcar, going to Spain meant being able to act independently.
Well, he does go to
from the
Spain.
weak Carthaginian
Okay, I thought he was taking the money just
building
to...
his own strength.
I see.
And then perhaps somewhere down the line, revenge.
I see.
However,
He's getting
he
away from the
wasn't
government.
going to Spain by himself. Hannibal? Yes, father? Would you like to come with me to build an empire in Spain?
Training arc.
Barbara, mind if I take our 9-year-old son with me? I want to implant an intense hatred of Rome in him and prepare him for a glorious campaign of vengeance. Just try not to traumatize him, dear. No promises. The young boy Hannibal would accompany his father, watching, learning.
Yeah, it does feel like after World War
You see that city over there? Yes, father? That is Rome. Do you know what we do to Romans? No, father. We hate them, Hannibal. We hate them with every fiber of our being.
I didn't know this. I
Why,
didn't know
father?
Hannibal's dad
Can't
was...
I just play with my Digimons? No, son. They took everything from us. Our land, our wealth, our pride. Those animals. I'll tear them limb from limb. I'll burn their pathetic city to the ground. Dad? I'm sorry, son. I've just never been so proud. Keep going. I'll slaughter their people.
Okay.
I'll cut off their faces and wear them as masks. I love you, son. After taking Hannibal
It's really
to the
heartwarming
Temple of
bonding.
Baal and having him swear an oath never to be a friend of Rome, off Dad and son went for their lovely beach holiday in Spain. But Spain was already inhabited by many tribespeople, and when Hamilcar suddenly showed up in their territory, they were like, "Hey, who the hell are you? What are you doing here? I'm teaching my son how to become a warrior like me." Aw, well that's sweet. Well then, little guy, let's see what you got. Good boy. As Hamilcar got to work fighting the tribes of Iberia and expanding Carthaginian influence, Hannibal became a child of war.
Okay, he
even
grows
earning
up in
battle
it.
scars from a young age, and he grew to become a great military leader himself.
That's kinda
making
sick.
his father very proud. I love you so much, son. Dad, not in front of the enemy. You killed that guy so well, son. The Barcas successfully consolidated Carthaginian power, got those silver mines up and running,
Wow,
and
the
were
plan
sending
worked.
buckets of cash back to a money-starved Carthage. And symbolizing Carthage's regrowing strength, a beautiful new city would eventually be founded in Spain. New Carthage, with a magnificent palace at its center. Carthage is
Back, baby!
what in the name of Apollo is going on here? Ah, Romans! Flowing silver mines? Dancing elephants? What are you up to, Hamilcar? I'm simply gathering the money to pay you back. Oh, okay then. Or
They don't
are
try to
you
take it over?
rebuilding strength to go on a bloodthirsty revenge spree? Like I said, Claudius, I'm simply trying to pay you back. Aw,
They did a really good job with the
you guys are
animations.
hugging. No, we're not. I was hugging. Hamilcar had practically carved out a kingdom for himself in Spain, free from the meddling Carthaginian politicians.
Took him a year? Yeah, but this is great. I mean, this is like...
Becoming immense. But Dad, yes, my son? I'm confused. Are we really simply paying the Romans back? We're not gonna go on a bloodthirsty revenge spree? Of course we are. I'm just saying that to get the Romans off our backs. Listen, here's the most important life lesson I have for you. Vengeance is everything. An all-encompassing thirst for vengeance is great for your mental health. Are you still confused? No, I get it now.
That makes sense.
What if the Romans find out what we're up to? They won't find out. Why? Well, Hannibal, because I use NordVPN. I'm confused again. Do you like your computer being hacked, all your passwords being stolen, and used to create a fake
Holy
virtual
shit,
you who
it's
drains your mom's bank
Nord!
account? Me neither. And that's why
Ethical
I
React.
use NordVPN.
Ethical React.
These days, hackers are only getting smarter. While
Oh, I'm
you're
gonna get cereal
only
while this
getting
plays.
dumber. Whether it's convincing phishing attacks, fake Wi-Fi networks, or clicking your aunt's Facebook post that opens the door to a hacker party on your device, you need to protect yourself from online threats with NordVPN. NordVPN allows you to connect to secure servers that encrypt your data and keeps you safe by blocking malicious websites with their threat protection feature.
NordVPN.
With
Buy
NordVPN,
it,
you can also
buy
connect
it.
to other territories and take advantage of better deals or content not available in your country. And if you don't like it, it comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee.
Peanut butter crunch.
So go to NordVPN.com.
Peanut butter crunch. Gold grams are already gone.
OverSimplified to get an exclusive deal with a huge discount and 4 extra months. That's NordVPN.com/oversimplified. And as always, you'll be supporting my channel. So thank you. Now, where were we? Oh yeah. Carthaginian tears, a child of war, and the Carthaginian conquest.
I did not know
Spain.
Hannibal's background at all. It's actually really
Carthaginian recovery had
interesting.
been staggeringly quick, and Rome was seriously alarmed.
They thought they couldn't pay.
Also preoccupied
It's
with
like
ongoing wars elsewhere,
Ah.
including an expansionist war to the north, where they were enslaving thousands of northern Celts. So for now, to keep Carthage in check, the Romans insisted on a new treaty. See this river? The two sides agreed that everything above it was in Rome's sphere of influence, while beneath it was Carthage. Under no circumstances were the Carthaginians to expand north of that river. But for now, Hamilcar and son were living it up. Well, son, here's to many more years of successful campaigning in Spain. Now, if you'll excuse me, I just have to go fight those guys. See you later,
Does
son.
he die?
I love you. What the? Oh, crap. I drowned? Oh, well. Always remember, son. You are vengeance.
It's your time, Hannibal.
Also, delete my browsing history. Hamilcar Barca was tragically ambushed at a river and drowned. His son-in-law, and possibly also his lover,
What, excuse me?
took charge for a while, but he too was later assassinated, leaving finally a 26-year-old Hannibal in
Holy
charge of
shit.
the Carthaginian armies in Spain.
26? He definitely
Sources say
smokes
the men
Zins.
readily accepted him as their leader. He chose to suffer the same hardships as his men. He lived in the same
Giga Chad.
conditions, was
Giga
often
Chad.
the first into battle and the last one out. And it also helped that he looked a lot like his dad. He had the total respect of his men. If he said jump, they said how high. If he said tuck me in, they said how tight. If he said talk to a girl without peeing your pants, they said that's impossible. Nobody can do that. An army that would follow him anywhere would be crucial for exacting his vengeance against Rome. Hannibal's army had become a strong and loyal fighting force, and that was making a certain nation very uncomfortable. Seeing Carthage re-strengthen so quickly was not something
It's
Rome
so
had
similar to
expected,
post-World War
yet
I
here they
Germany, which
were,
is crazy.
paying off their debts and expanding their territory. It didn't feel very much like Carthage was under Rome's thumb at all, and Rome wanted to put an end to it. Tensions were strung tighter than your liar's G-string, and all it would take was one incident to trigger all-out war. And in 219 BC, a city in Spain would find itself at the very center of that fateful incident, Saguntum. Remember that treaty declaring everything south of this river to be Carthage's sphere of influence? Well, Saguntum should therefore obviously be Carthaginian, right? Wrong! Saguntum had actually scored itself
Saguntum
an
these nuts, yeah,
informal
exactly.
alliance with Rome, after Rome had helped it with an internal dispute. With Carthaginian encroachment, Saguntum began to fear for its independence, and Rome declared itself Saguntum's protector. But this clearly went against the Ebro River Treaty. So what on earth was Rome doing? Were the Saguntines and the Romans truly just BFFs?
Look at that
It's
love.
possible. Or was Rome deliberately trying to interfere with Hannibal's Spanish expansion and maintain a staging post for a future war with Carthage? More likely. And Hannibal certainly viewed this Rome-Saguntum alliance as an outrage.
Seems kinda
Yet
dumb from the
another
Roman
example
side, though.
Of Roman arrogance. At first, he left Saguntum alone, But having learnt from his father to hate all things Roman, and having inherited his father's dream of bringing Rome to its knees,
They want war?
more and more, Hannibal may have begun
Yeah, I
to
guess.
see
Maybe Rome wants to
Saguntum
start it.
as an opportunity. Could this controversial alliance be just what devilish little Hannibal needed to kickstart a second war with Rome and restore Carthaginian dominance? It's even possible that Rome were also using Saguntum to goad Hannibal into a fight.
I see, yeah,
so
yeah.
they could go and kick him out of Spain. And as the two giants began gearing up for
Round two, fight!
the poor people of Saguntum had no idea that they were about to be crushed in the collision. Hey, your alliance with Saguntum is an insult, and we won't stand for it. They're our friends, Hannibal.
I don't know how Rome
and
can
if you lay a finger on them,
cross
it'll be
the
an act of war.
sea, though,
Hannibal, back
so easily
the hell
and reinforce.
off. War, eh? I was thinking I might just besiege their city and massacre their people. I hope you do, Hannibal. Find out what happened.
I understand
We
boats.
hope you do, Hannibal. Wait,
I mean,
what?
your
Maybe
supply
I will.
line, you
Go
know?
ahead.
It feels like
Kill
you're
them
fighting
all.
far from home.
Okay, then.
It's
Fine,
hard.
Fine. Okay, guess I'll do just that. Consul, we look forward to it. Consul, you're gonna protect us though, right, Consul? Consul! Oh no! To top it all off, when the Saguntine people made the genius decision of raiding into Carthaginian territory, enough was enough. In an action that was guaranteed to provoke the Romans into war, Hannibal besieged the city. The siege of Saguntum lasted 8 cruel months before Hannibal broke through the city defenses and turned Saguntum into a killing field.
Yikes.
It was a massacre.
Okay.
The hell?
It's not really cool.
Tell me I didn't just catch you massacring our friends, the Sugantes. Well, Consul, if you like the Sugantes so much, perhaps you should sug on these nuts.
So you guys...
Hearing word of the attack on Saguntum, Rome was understandably in an uproar, and all eyes were now fixated on what would happen next, as Rome sent a delegation to Carthage, led by one of the most highly esteemed Roman senators, Fabius Maximus. He demanded an answer for Hannibal's sins. All right, listen up, scum. You've got a rogue general in Spain attacking a Roman ally. What are we supposed to do about it? Well, there shouldn't have even been a Roman ally in Spain. You're the aggressor here. Hand Hannibal over to us as a criminal.
Oh,
so we
shit.
can punish him severely. No, yes, no.
No way they give up
Look,
Hannibal.
I hold in the folds of my toga both peace and war. Which one should I let drop? Whichever one you want. Then I choose. The Second Punic War had begun. Pack
That's
it
insane.
up, boys. We've got them. We already destroyed these clowns
No
once.
way
and
Rome
we were
loses.
the underdogs. Now we're the overdogs? Hot dogs. Exactly. This is gonna be
Rome!
Here's the
Rome!
plan. Consul Longus, you take your army and
I've seen
sail
Gladiator.
straight
They
for
never
Carthage.
lose.
Burn that city to the
Please.
ground. And Consul Scipio, you just head on over to Iberia and make sure this Hannibal guy doesn't do anything crazy. I mean, what's he gonna do?
Two-front
Cross
war.
the Alps?
No
We're going
fucking
to
way.
what?
No
Cross
fucking way,
the
dude.
Alps. We're going to
What a moron.
What? I just told you, Hannibal will freeze to death. Trust me, Jerome. The Romans are expecting us to fight the same way we did last time, passively, taking no initiative. They think it's gonna be easy. So this time, we have to be aggressive. We have to go on the attack. It sickens me to say this, but this time, we have to be a little more Roman. You mean we're gonna take poops and baths together? But I'm insecure about my hairy legs. No, I'm saying this time, we're gonna take the fight to them. Think about it. Rome thinks they're simply going to invade us and win the war. So when they suddenly find themselves being invaded from the north, they'll freak out. Like Tony's mother, when the buffet runs out of shrimp. Hey,
So
I
true.
gotta admit, it's actually kind
It's
of
genius.
And my hairy legs will insulate me from the cold. That's the spirit.
Well, you
Hannibal,
can't get elephants
you
through the
have my
Alps.
sword and my spear and my legs. Ugh. Hannibal's plan, a daring alpine trek to surprise the Romans, was a bold but risky strategy. If it paid off, he could catch the Romans with their pan stem, but he could also end up losing a ton of men and supplies in the hostile mountain conditions. Nevertheless, in 218 BC, with a fire in his eyes and some vengeance in his belly, Hannibal brought his force of almost 100,000 men across the Ebro River. They spent months on the road, trekking through the cold, hostile mountain conditions. And when they finally reached the other side,
That's so
they
crazy.
said, "Hooray! We did it! We crossed the Alps." No, those were the Pyrenees. Those are the Alps. After crossing the Pyrenees, the army then had to pass through southern Gaul, a vast territory filled with tribespeople, many of whom were hostile to Hannibal's presence.
Right.
His journey to the Alps was an ordeal in itself, as he was forced to fight his way through and incurred pretty hefty losses before even reaching the mountains.
It is pretty
His
insane
plan
this
was
worked.
almost stopped in its tracks entirely, as the Roman consul
It's so
Scipio,
far.
on his way to Iberia, discovered Hannibal was right on his doorstep. Suddenly, Hannibal's journey became a race.
Oh, shit.
As he rushed to get his massive army across the vast Rhone River before the Romans could intercept him. The crossing was chaotic, with the panicking elephants causing several men to drown. And the first combat
You got
of the
to
war
imagine
occurred
when this is
small
happening,
scouting
you're
parties
feeling
from each side encountered
pretty
one
low
another.
morale.
When Scipio finally caught up to Hannibal's position, what he found was an empty Carthaginian camp. Hannibal had slipped through his fingers.
Bro is cooking nothing. What is Hannibal doing? That's what you would have thought, right? Like, if you're in the army at this time and everyone's like, yeah, let's do this, Hannibal, and you're just fucking wandering through hostile tribes, over mountains, Romans catch you early, you gotta feel like this is fucking stupid. We're not even close to Rome yet.
The Roman consul Scipio felt the weight of the situation. Quite unbelievably, Hannibal was going to cross the Alps into Italy, and the Romans had no idea where he would emerge. For the first time, a Carthaginian force had the Roman homeland under threat. Scipio sent his men onto Iberia as planned, but he himself rushed home to raise a new army so that if Hannibal survived the cross...
This is the dumb part. This is the dumb part. You know what he should have done? Base race, dude. Classic base race. Hannibal's gone in the Alps. You land in Iberia. You fucking push through you take all the silver mines. Hit them on both sides. They take all of Rome. You take all of fucking Carthage. Switch. Yeah, exactly. Expect him, dude.
Scipio would be there, waiting. Would you look at that, boys? We're here. The Alps. Although it is a little later than I expected. Yeah, it's kind of chilly. We'll set up camp here and wait for spring, right? It's way too cold, right? Hannibal? Hannibal's famous crossing of the Alps was brutal.
That's crazy.
It was already autumn, and the men suffered terribly. It was cold. Men would fall off the sides of icy cliffs. They starved. They fell off the sides of icy cliffs. Some sources say they had to eat their pack animals and would finish off dying comrades in order to take their clothes for extra warmth. And then they would fall off the sides of icy cliffs. Imagine an army of 50,000 men with all of their horses, supplies, and 37 elephants trying to navigate the most hostile mountain range in Europe.
That's
And
insane.
it wasn't just nature that they were up against. Tribespeople lived in the mountains, and they couldn't believe what they were seeing. A tribe approached Hannibal and said, "Hey man, geez, that's some nice armor. What is that, gold? Man, I'd really like that armor. Hey boss, they've got food as well. Shut up, be cool. Hey, why don't you let us guide you through this narrow gorge? We're not gonna kill you or nothing. Just walk right on through there. We're not gonna kill you. It's just right this way." We're not gonna kill you. Hannibal's army were forced to fight their way through the gorge as massive boulders rained down on them from above. Some clever reorganization of his line helped.
Have they ever made a movie about this? This would be a cool movie. I would love to see a dramatization of this whole arc of history. Vin Diesel wants to? Oh, God. Does anyone else want to? Does anyone else want to? I don't want to hear about how the fucking Carthaginians were family, bro.
them survive, and they were able to fend off the opportunistic tribes. But losses from the constant
Rock.
attacks were heavy.
The
As
Rock
the
is Hannibal
journey continued,
Barca?
Men who went over the sides would get stuck on the ice sheets below and had to make a grisly choice between starving to death or just getting it over with. When the deeply demoralized army reached the summit and rested for a couple days, Hannibal tried to lift their spirits with a rousing speech. Look, men, down there, it's Rome. These plains stretching out in front of you are bountiful with food to eat and Romans to kill. Move, Bessie! Look, you have just climbed the walls of Rome. The hard part is over. From here on out, it's all downhill, and nobody else will die. Except for them. The rest of us here, no one
I mean, you have to fight a battle when you get there, right?
Starting now. Okay, let's go. Oh, for goodness sake! As it turned out, the descent was as deadly as the way up, with the cold really starting to set in. The path became even more narrow, and at one point, the men spent 3 days in the freezing cold, repairing a
I would have been
collapsed
so
road. When they finally
pissed.
reached the bottom, Hannibal said, "Look, guys, we did it." Well, I thought it went really well. When Hannibal left Spain, he had about 100,000 men. By the time he reached the Italian plains, his numbers had dwindled to about 26,000. He was now caught in enemy territory, without a supply line or source of reinforcements. And any elephants who had survived to this point were almost certainly traumatized. So what on earth was Hannibal up to?
I can see why everyone like this is such a crazy thing. It really was like stupid. Like, by all measures, it's like it worked. So I guess that clutches it, but it's like stupid. It's like really stupid.
This supposed military genius had just led a starving and weakened army right into enemy territory. Any modern general who lost half their men to mountains would be immediately fired and possibly even depantsed on live TV.
Yeah,
Here's the
70,000
thing. While
people.
Hannibal may not have planned on losing quite so many men, he had almost certainly expected considerable losses, and he always had a plan for how to replace them.
Okay.
Need men? Northern Italy was full of men. Big, burly Celtic men.
Okay.
All the men Hannibal would ever need to beat off Rome.
Okay.
These Celts were filled with resentment, having only recently been conquered by Rome.
I see.
Hannibal hoped to be seen as a liberator, convince the Celts to cut ties with Rome, and instead join him in crushing Rome. That way, he could gain a source of reinforcements and supplies right in Rome's backyard. But sir, in order to win the loyalty of the Celts, we would need to make a seriously favorable impression on them. How do we get them to like us? Kill them. One of Hannibal's first actions in Italy was to obliterate a nearby tribe who wouldn't join him. This sent a clear message to all the other tribes. It was his wrath they should fear, not Rome's. The realization that a Carthaginian army had just invaded them must have been shocking for the Romans. But when they looked at this ragtag group broken by the Alps, they couldn't have felt very intimidated. However, Hannibal was now in Italy, and he was about to embark on one of the most astonishing military campaigns in all of human history.
That's cool.
The Romans may not have known it yet, but there was now a monster loose in their territory, and he was vying for Roman blood.
I mean, this is where he. Okay, part two, baby. Part two.
This video was made possible by Incogni. Use code OverSimplified in the link below for an exclusive
I gotta know, dude.
60%
I gotta know.
off
Let
and
him cook.
Incogni plan. Also, make sure to grab our Roman console
Yeah, we know about it.
before it's too late. Don't make me mention it a third time, or I'll you know what. Hannibal's army had survived its famous crossing of the Alps, and he was now in Italy. With Hannibal's arrival, the Roman consul Scipio hit the ground running. In typical Roman fashion, he marched his army straight at the enemy, and Hannibal began preparing for his first combat with Rome on Italian soil. Before the battle, Hannibal wanted to inspire.
If he had just lost this battle, this would be one of the history's greatest blunders. It would have been like one of the biggest like own goals in human history. He marched 100,000 men down to 26,000, then lost right on their doorstep. I mean, this is a real clutch or kick moment for your legacy. Because they even knew he was coming, which is crazy. It's not even a surprise.
His men. So he staged a gladiatorial death match between captured Celt prisoners, with the winner getting prizes and freedom. He then explained that the whole thing was a metaphor. A metaphor? For what? You! These warriors are you! You're trapped in Italy with no escape. Your only choice now is to fight and win. What about the dead guy? That's you if you don't win. And the prizes? That's what you stand to gain by winning. And the fact that I've soiled myself in all this excitement? No, that's not part of the metaphor. Okay. Hannibal also smashed in the head of a goat. Again, for inspiration. Scipio, on the other hand, now arriving in the area, opted for the more classic route of a rousing pre-battle speech.
Didn't even bash a goat.
Men. Weak, starved by the Alps, while we are the strongest military in the world.
Overconfidence
This will be easy.
is a slow and insidious
10,000
killer.
Horse-sized ducks fighting a baby-sized baby. It'll be like Mike Tyson in his prime, kicking a baby. A tug of war between 10 sumo wrestlers and a... Help me out here, Ralph. A baby, sir? Yes, that's it. A baby. The point is, there is absolutely no possible way we could lose a battle this easy. So, if everybody's ready, on my mark,
Uh-oh.
the Battle of Ticinus was over almost as soon as it had begun, as the Romans found themselves completely outmatched by Hannibal's famed lightning-fast Numidian cavalry, a key element in Hannibal's devastating double envelopment tactics. In the chaos, Scipio was wounded. Thankfully, according to some ancient writers, his handsome 17-year-old son...
It is crazy that, like... You know, this is an era where send some horses around the back is enough to become one of the greatest generals in history. Everyone's, you know, like just fucking use the horses, come around the back. That's crazy.
Son, Scipio the Younger, saw his father
Somebody's
fall.
gonna be the first. I know,
Scipio
he
the
was.
Younger
That's
supposedly saved his father.
You
and
stand
in
on the shoulders of those
process,
before
earned
you.
himself a lot of daddy's kisses. The Romans ended up fleeing the area, destroying the bridge behind them as they went. For a nation so overtly confident in victory, believing Hannibal to be an easy kill, the Romans found themselves running away with their tail between their legs. It was humiliating. And you know who thought so as well? The Celts. They began flocking to Hannibal's side, just as he'd hoped. Even Celtic troops fighting for Rome in the Roman camp began to reconsider. Man, I'm thinking we should try to join Hannibal. I hear you. Maybe we should bring him a gift. What do you think he'd like? Oh, I know.
Oh, shit.
Hey, Hannibal. We want to join your side, and we brought you a present. A gift? For me? I hope it's Roman heads. Oh, please. Oh, please be Roman heads. How did you know? Running away from Hannibal was humiliating enough, but having dozens of Romans beheaded in the
Jesus.
night, now that's embarrassing.
Embarrassing.
Ticinus had been a relatively small battle, but the psychological impact it had early on was huge,
you want your
and
first
it
one to
was
be a
only
dub.
just a taste of what Hannibal was capable of. Despite the shocking initial loss, however, Rome still didn't seem to fully understand the danger posed by the monster now loose in their territory. The Senate was full of excuses. It's those traitorous Celts. That's why we lost. Yeah, and it was a cavalry battle. Wait until Hannibal faces our almighty legions. And our consul was bald. Once he faces our other fully follicled consul, then he'll really pee his pants. That other consul,
Copium, yeah, absolute
had been in the
copium, dude.
South all this time, preparing to invade Africa. He had seen some success, even capturing Malta. But then he heard the news. Hannibal's in Italy, and I'm being ordered home. But I was gonna be the big boy. I was gonna invade Carthage and win the war. Well, you can be a big boy at home. No! Does somebody need a nap?
Mace race! Mace race!
No! And so Longus brought his army on the long journey north, when he arrived in the area to decisively neutralize Hannibal. The two consuls joined their forces together, creating a double consular army. But the two consuls weren't exactly on the same page. Having a nice rest there, old man? I'm wounded, Longus. Pathetic. You don't understand. He's more dangerous than we thought. Maybe for you. Whoops. Listen, we can't just march straight at him like we normally do. We need to train our men through the winter, and we'll try again in spring. Sorry, I don't take advice from a bowling ball. Hey, I'll kick your ass, Longus. Any day now. I'm coming. Just you wait. Oh, Scipio, you feeble old man. Scipio was apparently quite cautious after his recent encounter with Hannibal, while Longus, typically Roman, couldn't wait to give Hannibal a swirly. So who would get their way? Well, when two consuls joined their forces, it turned out the Romans had an interesting system in place.
Okay.
They would each take turns being the one in charge. Consul 1 would lead one day, then Consul 2 the next. Back and forth. As you
What
can
a
imagine,
terrible
when the
system.
two consuls didn't agree, things didn't go so well. In this case, due to Scipio's injury, Longus probably assumed even more command than normal. Hannibal had Celtic spies in the Roman camp. He fully understood the Roman system and Longus's hot-headed nature, and he knew he could exploit it. For goodness sake! What's wrong, sir? I'm trying to order some pizza, but I keep getting fed all these personalized ads about being a hothead. I'm not a hothead, am I? No, sir. Look at this. Butt insurance? Who would buy butt insurance? Yeah, that sounds really stupid. Sir, it seems like a lot of data brokers have collected data on you. They could sell that data to Hannibal. What?
NordVPN.
But don't worry, because you can get rid of that data with today's wonderful sponsor.
Oh, Incogni.
Incogni. Hooray! I've been getting at you for some time to protect your personal data online. But you're a nimwit, aren't you? You didn't do it, did you? Typical. And now would you look at that? Tons of data brokers have collected a heck of a lot of your personal data. And
Damn
might sell
you,
it to
data
third parties
brokers!
like advertisers or insurance companies without you even knowing. Ever wonder where Sally from the Butt Insurance Company got your name, number, address, social security number, and favorite color from? Probably a dirty data broker. We could painstakingly contact the hundreds of brokers that have our data and politely ask them to delete it. That process would only take the average human about 3,000 years. And that's why you need Incogni. I was shocked to find how many data brokers Incogni had tracked.
Fucking data
selling
brokers,
my data.
dude.
But all I had to do was create an Incogni account, give them permission to work on my behalf, then sit back and let them do all the hard work for me. And since these data brokers don't stop there, Incogni will continuously work to keep my data safe with an annual plan. So if you want to protect your personal data too, go to incogni.com/oversimplified to get an exclusive 60% off an annual Incogni plan.
As a
That's
data broker, please don't do this.
/oversimplified. And as always, you'll be supporting my channel. So thank you. Now, where were we? Oh yeah. Roman heads, a double consular army, and a hothead.
Double consular is crazy.
Hannibal
That's
needed
just
to
bad
keep smashing the
organization.
Romans in battle in order to maintain the loyalty of the Celts. And so he was eager to fight another battle. The combined Roman force possibly outnumbered him, so he carefully crafted a clever trap, and he made sure to spring it while Longus was still in charge. The plan began with his army getting an early night's sleep.
Incredible.
All right, boys,
Hard to do.
Time for lights out. Sorry, but we got a big day ahead of us. Tomorrow, we're gonna massacre the Romans. Good night, boys. Dream of
I wouldn't be able to
revenge.
sleep. I'd be so excited.
Gorzog, send out the cavalry. That night, Hannibal's Numidian cavalry made their way over to the Roman camp, arriving just before dawn. Hey, Romans! Wakey, wakey! What the? What's going on? Hey, Longus, your butt smells like a butt. It does not! Scipio, awaken the troops. Longus, these playground insults are clearly meant to lure you out. Well, it's working. Send out the troops. Longus, it's clearly a trap, and I'm falling for it. Send out the troops. Hey, guys, wake up. You're heading out for battle. What? But we haven't had breakfast. We're skipping breakfast! I don't think you can do that. As the Romans hurried out of camp, the Numidians began luring them back to the Carthaginian camp, where these gentle angels were just awakening from their slumber. Eat up, boys. We're having pancakes.
Pancakes!
While the Carthaginians were enjoying their hearty breakfast, the starving Romans were still on their way. Hurry up! We have to catch those Numidians. Hey, why have you stopped marching? Longus, there's a freezing river in front of us. Well, get your gluteus maximus.
This is insane.
All right, boys. Time to lather up. This oil will insulate you from the cold. It also smells like lavender. There's the Carthaginian camp. Get ready to fight, men. Sir? I think the water from the river is beginning to ice over.
That's
I
crazy.
can't move. Oh, I'm sorry. You thought war would be fun? Sitting around a nice hot campfire playing Truth or Dare with your friends? Welcome to the real world! Truth. Who do you like? Sharon. Ew!
Oh.
Look, guys, the Romans are here. Having perfectly orchestrated events so that his enemy was cold, tired, and hungry, while his men were well rested and covered in
And had
oil.
pancakes.
When the two sides engaged one another, the Romans were in no condition to fight. And the cherry on top, the previous night, Hannibal had sent out an elite force of men led by his brother to go and hide behind a bush. They suddenly sprung out, encircling the
He
exhausted
loves
Romans,
encirclement.
who were then cut to pieces. Once again, Hannibal's superior cavalry and double envelopment
It's
tactics
the- it's
had
the strat that
flummoxed
keeps-
the Romans. But the key word at
The
trade
backshot strat,
was
yeah.
control. Hannibal used
It's
his
broken,
intel
dude.
on the enemy and the environment of
Fucking bush camper. Fucking someone nerf this fucking encirclement strategy, dude. Just fucking camps in the bush, then hits the back. Classic back shots.
the battlefield to carefully control the conditions of battle, creating lots of little advantages.
When are they gonna
for
patch out
us that
flanks?
pave the way to success. And
How is that even fun for him, bro? Like, you have fun just spamming that over and over? You don't even do anything different? You just spam encirclement? Wow. No, cool.
concealing troops for an ambush? All of these things are what make Hannibal the genius he's remembered as today. As for Longus, he managed to escape the battlefield with a small number of troops. Disgraced, he didn't want the Senate to find out what had happened, and he began obscuring communications back to Rome. Longus, where have you been? We've been looking for you. Nowhere in particular. Longus, 30,000 men are missing. Do you know where they are? They're taking a bath. 30,000 men? All in a bath? Yes.
That's
Longus,
fucking crazy.
What's under that rug? Aurora Borealis? Aurora Borealis? Oh, well, that's my consulship over. Good luck with Hannibal. Bye. Trebia had been a disaster for the Romans.
Oh,
and
shit.
As even more Celts began flocking to Hannibal, Rome largely lost its control over Cisalpine Gaul. In Rome, complacency turned to alarm. Hannibal had outwitted them on their own soil and inflicted a costly defeat. But with that, Scipio and Longus's terms as consul were
Yeah, that'll
over.
do it.
They were replaced with two new consuls, Servilius and Flaminius. The Romans may
Flaminius
now
seems
have
kinda
begun to realize the trouble they
badass.
were in and the genius
Got that
Hannibal
psycho
had
eyes.
shown in invading Italy. The Romans had expected to be the ones controlling this war. Remember, they thought they were going to invade Carthage. Now their plans lay in ruins, and they were levying 11 new legions to deal with the threat. Hannibal had completely redefined the war. But Hannibal had a little problem of his own. Things had gone well so far, but the Celts were notoriously fickle, and Hannibal needed to ensure he maintained their alliance and his base of support in Italy. Any Celts he captured fighting for Rome, he treated extremely well and allowed them to return to their homes.
Nice.
But the longer he hung around in their territory, eating all their food and leaving beard trimmings in their sinks, the more resentful they may become. They wanted to go south and plunder some Roman booty, and Hannibal also hoped to sway Rome's other Italian allies in the south to his side. So from here, the path was clear. Hannibal had to move south. Just one problem. There were two main routes Hannibal could
So many
take
goddamn
to move
mountains.
south, And wouldn't you know it, that's exactly where the 2 new Roman consuls had taken fortified positions. If Hannibal tried to move on them, he'd be fighting from a disadvantaged position and could be bottled in.
What if he
There is a
encircles
third
them?
option. Ooh, tell me. We could move through this vast impassable marshland flooded with dirty, stinky, disease-infested water that at times would come up to our necks. But
Holy
there's no way we
shit,
would
it
attempt
works
that, right?
again.
That'd be crazy, right? Hannibal? Hannibal's 4-day trek across the Arno
I did not know about
was
this.
hell on earth.
did too.
Almost as crazy as when he crossed the Alps. Imagine 3
Yeah,
full
bro does
days
have one
unable
strat.
to sit or lie down because there's nowhere to sit or lie down. Meaning 4 full days without sleep, slugging through heavy mud. You contract cholera. Your foot falls off, and Jim Bob directly in front of you won't stop pooping in your path. In fact, everybody's pooping in your path.
Really
Some
disgusting. I'm
delirious,
eating
sleepless
Reese's peanut butter
men
cups.
would see clumps of mud and say, man, I could just sink into that. And then they would. When pack animals died, it gave nearby men a chance to rest, but only for a few moments before they were whipped back into line. Even Hannibal himself couldn't escape the torture of it.
Hey, he's gotta do it
Hey,
too.
Hannibal, if we see a Starbucks, can we stop? I need to take a leak.
Oh, shit.
What? Geez, Hannibal. Looks like you picked up a nasty eye infection. Normally for this sort of thing, we just wash it out with some clean water. But as you can see, water everywhere, but it's full of Jim Bob's poop. No worries, Doc. I'll just take care of it myself.
No! Oh, no! Did he actually do
That'll be
that?
$3,000. When the now possibly one-eyed Hannibal and his army emerged from the swamp, they were shattered. But he had just managed to slip 50,000 men
Encirclement,
right past the
encirclement.
Romans into rich
Let's
Etrurian
go!
lands, where he could replenish his supplies, and his Celt allies could go crazy, securing Roman loot and booty. As fields and villages went up in flames, one Roman consul couldn't help but notice. The hot-headed Flaminius, feeling it was his responsibility to protect these lands, rather than waiting for his co-consul to come join him, immediately left to go chase Hannibal. Now, this Flaminius was an interesting character. He was what the Romans called a new man. He came from the lower plebeian classes of Roman society.
Ooh, new
and
money.
as a result, he reportedly had kind of a screw-you attitude to the establishment and a big old arrogant chip on his
All
shoulder.
right.
Picture Sid Vicious wearing a toga. That's Flaminius. And Hannibal, thanks to his spies,
Kinda based.
knew everything. Just as with Longus, Hannibal knew Flaminius was just the kind of man he could lure into a trap. Hannibal led Flaminius to
It's kind of insane that he ran the same gambits like 6 times. He just showed up in Rome, fucking battered and bruised, and then just ran the same tricks and just kept fucking owning Romans.
the entrance of a narrow pass along
Romans
the
are
north
frauds,
shore
bro.
of Lake Trasimene. Flaminius watched as Hannibal's army entered the pass. I've done it. I've spotted the enemy. Sir? That big follow us sign seems kind of like they're trying to lure you in. Yes, Gareth, and I'm taking the bait. Sir, this really seems like a trap. Yes, Gareth, and I'm falling for it. Daylight was fading, so for now, the Romans set up camp. The two armies encamped across the lake from one another, and night fell over the two camps. In the morning, Flaminius would catch up to Hannibal, and he would be the hero of Rome.
Okay?
For now, the Romans got nice and comfy.
Get a good sleep
in
this time.
their beds.
Eat pancakes.
Good night, Flaminius. Good night, Rome. Good evening, Hannibal. During the night, Hannibal ordered total stealth.
Dude, he actually is the GOAT.
As tens of thousands of troops scaled the wooded hills above the pass, completely undetected by Rome's scouts.
Insanely bad scouting. If he's moving 10,000 troops and your scouts aren't noticing it, they're fucking shit.
Let's go, girls. Flaminius took off across the lake shore to
No
try to catch
way.
Hannibal. As he did, even the weather seemed to be on Hannibal's side. A thick fog rose from the surface of the lake, obscuring visibility. Look at this. This is perfect. The
That's
mist will obscure our
crazy.
approach. Hannibal will never see me coming.
Hopefully you don't get encircled.
Sir? Why does it sound like 50,000 Carthaginians are charging down the hill towards us? You mean 50,000 Carthaginians are charging?
It's crazy how many, there's like many battles of history, if you look at it, are decided by random chances of weather. Maybe this isn't decided by it, but it helped. Like there's so many times that Japan was about to be invaded, and then there's like a huge typhoon that takes out like 100 fucking boats. 1,000 boats, and it's like if that typhoon didn't existed, all of their history would be different. It's just crazy. Napoleon, yeah, the UK as well, yep.
Right into my trap! The Romans found themselves completely hemmed in on all sides, with zero visibility.
God
in
is
the
Japanese
fog.
confirmed.
The fighting was terrifying and chaotic. Troops were pushed into the lake in their heavy armor, where they were either cut down or drowned. And Flaminius, who likely stood out like a sore thumb in his consul attire, caught the attention of one Celt warrior, with his head possibly swirling with thoughts of how the Romans had decimated his homeland. According to the ancient writers, this Celt took his chance.
Oh shit!
In the 3-hour-long massacre, 15,000 Romans were killed, and an equal number captured.
Yikes.
An entire army completely wiped out, along
Yikes!
with their consul.
What a
During the battle,
dominant
the Roman
victory!
vanguard had managed to break through at the front and climbed the hill above the fog. When the mist
Bro, that ratio is crazy for a melee combat fight. Where all men are of relatively equal strength and have similar armor and weapons. That's crazy. That is completely owned. Because you could have such a drastically better economy, but if you're losing 30,000 to 2,000, there's no way. It's complete L. It's just you can't.
completely wiped out, along with their consul.
It's a
During
stack
the battle,
pipe, yeah.
The Roman vanguard had managed to break through at the front and climbed the hill above the fog. When the mist cleared, what they saw was a blood-red lake and a sea
Jesus
of Roman
Christ.
bodies. Worse yet, when the other consuls sent cavalry to try to aid Flaminius's doomed legions, they too were caught and defeated. A double
This is a
disaster.
major L. This is a full-on panic. Yeah, this is.
Rome
Yeah.
went into a frenzy. For the
there's-
second time, Hannibal had completely decimated an entire Roman army. Romans were dying by the tens of thousands. Common citizens began flocking to the city for safety. Women waited by the city gates in tears, hoping to hear news of loved ones. This one man, having just led his battered army across the Alps the previous year, now stood less than 100 miles from Rome. To this point, he had been a problem. Now, Hannibal was a crisis. And in a crisis, Rome took desperate measures. They actually had a system in place when dealing with an emergency of this magnitude. They would
sure it's not
forgo their
stupid.
two-consul power-sharing system and instead temporarily give one man near total power and authority to be as decisive as he needed and hopefully salvage the situation. This all-powerful position in Rome's government had a name: dictator. It's actually where we get the word. But unlike modern dictators, Roman ones didn't score perfect rounds of golf or ride bears through the Siberian tundra. They held their power for just 6 months before they were required to give it up. And in Rome's
And I'm sure
hour
they
of
always
need,
did.
the man chosen to be dictator in 217 BC, one of the most highly esteemed members of the Roman Senate, Fabius Maximus. So how would Fabius, as dictator, confront Hannibal? Well, Fabius understood that marching all of Rome's young men straight into a one-man meat grinder was bleeding Rome dry. Hannibal was clearly too dangerous
That
to
is a
face
great way to
head-on
describe
in
it.
battle. However, he was also stuck in their territory with dwindling manpower and forced to live off the land. It wasn't a sustainable position to be in long term.
Oh,
and
wait.
he could only
I think I've heard about this. Don't they like just stay in the cities or whatever? They like just don't. They do not engage. They just just like fucking. Okay, that's right. Well, yeah.
remain there for so long. So,
They just camp.
If Rome avoided
They just
battle
camp.
with Hannibal to prevent any more crippling losses, and instead simply maneuvered around him, blocking supplies and taking out smaller contingents where possible, Hannibal would gradually become weaker, while they would gradually become stronger.
Smart.
And so Fabius presented his new idea to the Roman Senate.
Probably
Okay, guys,
unpopular.
I have an idea. See if you can follow me here, okay? Instead of fighting Hannibal, when he approaches, we run away. Fabius's strategy couldn't have been.
Why are you
any
booing me?
less
I'm right.
Romans were meant to march headfirst into battle, not run away from it. It seemed cowardly, and Fabius was extremely unpopular. At this point, Hannibal was continuing south. He had to stay on the move to keep his army fed, and he was still aiming to undermine Rome's alliances in the south. As he went, in a calculated display of aggression, he devastated the Roman countryside and killed many Romans, all in plain sight of Fabius and his army.
That's
We're
fucked.
just gonna stand here? Yes. Are you a coward? No. But Fabius, that's my farm. Well, MacDonald, thank you for your sacrifice. You're a hero now. Think of the stories you'll tell. Old MacDonald had a farm. Shut up. But you know who else hated Fabius's strategy? Hannibal. He understood the danger he was in. Turning Rome's allies against her required Hannibal to keep smashing the Romans in battle. He couldn't do that if Fabius wouldn't fight him. Multiple times, Hannibal tried to goad Fabius into a fight, but Fabius wouldn't bite. Failing that, he tried to turn Rome against Fabius.
I mean, the thing is, you can't really encircle them if they don't charge at you. You know what I'm saying? If they just stay there and see you coming, then you can't get encircled. And it really, that really puts him. It's kind of a hard counter to his whole thing.
According to the
Finally
writer
got to learn how to
Livy,
play the
he
game,
burned
Hannibal.
down all the farms he could, but any farm he learned was owned by Fabius himself. He left well alone. Hey, Fabius, why isn't he burning down your farm? You got some sort of a secret deal with him?
That's such a funny way.
Of course not. Hey, Hannibal! What? Burn my farm too, please! What? Burn my farm too, please!
It's actually kind of next level strats.
Remember our secret deal! Well, you got to admit, he's a genius. Hannibal's problem, however, was that he had to stay on the move to keep supplying his army from the local lands. At one point, he entered Campania, one of the richest regions of Italy, great for resupplying, and great for showing up Fabius in front of Rome's South Italian allies. But he was caught in a valley, and Fabius quickly moved to block his escapes. Haha!
Oh-ho!
After he's used up all the valley's supplies, he'll starve. Sir? What are all those lights leaving the valley? Is he trying to escape? Lights in plain view. Well, that's a trap if I've ever seen one. And we're falling for it! Suspecting a trap, Fabius refused to budge. But other Romans in the valley rushed to confront Hannibal, only to find the Carthaginian army was actually just a herd of oxen with torches tied to their heads. They then found themselves caught.
Damn, he really was like a fucking cartoon general, dude. He had some crazy shit. He came up with some crazy tactics. That's wild. I had never heard about the fucking oxen with flaming horns.
In an ambush, with the Romans distracted, Hannibal's army was able to slip away into the
Oh
night
my god, that's
on the
actually
coast.
insane.
Classic Hannibal. For all his
That's
inaction,
insane.
The dissatisfied Romans mockingly dubbed him Fabius the Delayer. But the thing is, Fabius's strategy was probably the best thing he could have done. He was right that constant encounters with Hannibal were bleeding Rome dry, and the time he took allowed Rome some breathing room to recover their forces when they desperately needed to, while putting Hannibal into an increasingly more difficult position. Modern historians view Fabius's strategy as generally a good idea. To this day, the act of not engaging an enemy, but instead gradually wearing them down, is still referred to as the Fabian strategy. But when Fabius's term finally came to an end, the Senate couldn't have been happier. It was time to start fighting again. However, they probably had a little chat about how they were going to go about it. See, Hannibal's tactics up until now had been very sneaky. Or, if you're a Roman, you might say dishonorable.
Yeah.
I'm sick of it. Every time we try to take this guy down, we march straight at him. But then, oh no, Hannibal's hiding in a bush. Hannibal's got 30,000 men up a tree. At this point, I'm not convinced my wife isn't just Hannibal wearing a disguise. Cooey. Look, this time, we obviously have to switch something up. Now granted, we're Roman, so we're gonna march straight at him without thinking. That can't be helped. It's in our blood. But
That's how I feel when I'm making a plan to solve a puzzle. Step one, I have to do it exactly like I did last time. That's unnegotiable. But then also, let's add something new.
I have a proposition. This time, when we march straight at him, we do it with a massive army. I'm talking like 80,000 men.
Hell yeah!
It won't matter what kind of shenanigans he pulls. He can hide in all the bushes he wants. There's no way he can possibly beat off 80,000 men. Grow up! You know what I mean? And so it was. With 2 new consuls, Rome put together a massive army, the biggest Rome had ever fielded, to put Hannibal away once and for all. To gather the men required, 2/3 of them ended up being completely inexperienced. But
Sure,
how
that's
much
not a problem.
experience does it take to be expendable war fodder? As this massive army set out in the summer of 216 BC, the Romans knew they needed to win this
Yeah, I mean, he
battle.
loses when it's kinda-
Just one victory over Hannibal would likely be enough to end his entire campaign. And this time, their overwhelming manpower gave them confidence they could do it. Hannibal had taken position at the town of Cannae, where he had captured an important Roman supply depot. With Fabius gone, Hannibal knew a battle was likely coming, and he was eager to fight it on his terms. But when his men looked out at the Roman camp, they couldn't believe what they were seeing. That army's huge! There's no way we can possibly beat off all these men. How are we gonna beat off all of these men? You know what I mean. I think he's right, Hannibal. Hannibal is then said to have replied, Gisco, my friend, don't worry. There may be a lot of them, but amongst their ranks, there's not a single man named Gisco.
Oh,
This
shit.
joke was apparently so funny that his officers began to laugh and laugh. And when his men in the camp heard the laughter, they were like, hey, they're laughing. I guess that means we're gonna win the battle.
That is confidence inspiring.
Yay! As for the Romans, the consuls were another
VIP
pairing
him.
between an inexperienced hothead and a wise scholar. Although the main historian from this era was good friends with Paulus's family, so take that with a grain of salt. On his day of command, the rash and hasty Varro, despite the apparent pleas from Paulus, sent the army out for battle. And
How many
when Hannibal
times?
saw this, he did the same.
Oh,
And
God.
here comes the single largest battle of the Second Punic War, and one of the most renowned battles in history, the infamous Battle of Cannae. In all the pre-battle maneuvering, Hannibal was able to ensure his army was fighting from the south. This meant the seasonal dust-carrying winds were
Oh,
to his
shit.
back and blowing directly into the faces of the Romans. Like I said, control. After 2 years in Italy, Hannibal's infantry had dwindled to about 40,000. The Romans possibly outnumbered him 2-1.
Okay.
Their army was so big that their maniples stretched far deeper than they normally would.
That doesn't
The
matter,
Romans
though.
planned to charge Hannibal's thin, weak line like a battering ram and break it. They also chose a narrow battlefield in the hopes it would prevent Hannibal's far superior cavalry from being able to outmaneuver them.
Okay, that makes sense.
They wanted an honorable battle where pure strength rather than trickery would decide
I hope they don't
the
get
outcome.
encircled.
If Hannibal had his say, however, trickery might end up having a lot to do with
I
it.
hope they don't
He
get
ordered his line
encircled.
to position themselves as an outward bulge, with his weakest troops at the very center. Just behind them, out of sight from the Romans, stood the elite Libyan infantry, waiting for their moment to strike. The battle commenced as the massive Roman troops smashed into the Carthaginian center. The shape of Hannibal's line ensured the overwhelming weight of the Romans hit his weakest troops first, and they were pushed back. Hannibal's outward bulge reversed inward, with the Romans being funneled in towards the weak center. Hannibal had positioned himself at the center to encourage the troops to hold out as long as possible against the Roman onslaught, because while the Romans were unleashing carnage on the center, Hannibal's cavalry needed time to do their job. The heavy cavalry on the left, after a barbaric fight, sent the Roman horse packing, with the consul Paulus even sustaining a severe head injury.
Paulus really dropped the ball
He managed to
here.
move into the center to keep the battle going.
You had to hold that line!
Then the heavy cavalry turned and approached Varro's cavalry from
Oh
behind.
no!
At the first sight of the coming Carthaginian envelopment, Varro ordered his horsemen to flee the battlefield. The Carthaginians had won the cavalry battle.
Oh,
But back
he's
in the
doing it
center, According
again!
to some accounts, Hannibal's line did eventually end up caving to the massive weight of the Romans, and they began to flee. The Romans pushed deeper, and organization within the army likely broke down as they became a giant mass, trying to massacre the fleeing Carthaginians. They didn't realize that they were playing right into Hannibal's hands. At that moment, Hannibal's elite units, having done no fighting yet, and therefore fresh as a daisy, turned and smashed into the Roman sides.
Yikes.
Many of these troops were wearing Roman helmets and armor they had picked up after previous battles, and the confused Romans may not have even realized they were the enemy.
Dirty
As
tricks!
Hannibal managed to regain the composure of his center and encourage them back into the fight, the Carthaginian cavalry swooped in from behind. And look at what lies before you. A military general's wet dream.
He's a cheeser,
The total
dude.
encirclement
He's a
of
Weasley
much
little
larger
liar.
force by a much smaller force. The Romans were trapped.
A fucking
Hannibal
circle.
had
It all comes back.
unbelievably managed to use their own superiority in numbers against them. Rather than simply encircling them, he had actually allowed them to use their own immense power and push themselves into an encircled
He's the GOAT.
position.
And you know what? I fear not the man who's practiced 1,000 kicks once, you know what I'm saying? But one kick 1,000 times. He really is the master of the circle. Okay, he does it better than anyone else. He really is the GOAT of the circle strat, dude.
This was the genius of Cannae. And with that, the annihilation began. For hours, the Carthaginians slaughtered the helpless Romans
Jesus
from both
Christ.
sides. The terrified Romans were so tightly packed that at times they couldn't even lift their arms to defend themselves.
That's
The killing went on
insane.
so long that the Carthaginians became exhausted from the non-stop massacre. And by the
That's
time the butchery came
insane.
to an end, the grim toll spoke for itself.
What an
To
L!
Hannibal's several thousand lost, the
What was it? What happened? If I was that, dude, who was the dictator? What was his name? Fabius or whatever? This is a big I told you so moment, dude. This is a big, oh, interesting. No, what'd you do after I was gone? You kicked me out? 80,000 men, huh? You crushed them, right? Sure, it went great.
Romans suffered 60 to 80,000.
That's so
dead
fucking
or
crazy.
captured. Yet another entire army
That's crazy.
wiped out by Hannibal. Many high-ranking Romans met their end at Cannae.
Yeah, that's the-
Paulus, for one, but also 80 senators and more. It's been estimated that 20% of Rome's male population, aged 18 to 50,
That's insane.
died at Cannae.
That's
This
insane.
was it. Hannibal's vengeance. The stunned Carthaginians, as they searched for their own survivors among the dead, couldn't believe the sight of it. An
That's
estimated
insane.
30,000
That's
gallons of blood
crazy.
now lay spilled on the battlefield.
What an L.
Rome's defeat at Cannae sent shockwaves throughout Italy.
Yeah, that's
Just
it.
as Hannibal had hoped,
You
most
can't-
of southern Italy now defected to his side, including the second largest city on the peninsula. Wow. Hannibal, this is incredible. What could possibly come next? Next? Jim Bob. I've killed 150,000 Romans. I've
That's
turned
so
her allies
crazy.
Against her. That's it.
He did get vengeance. I mean, that's vengeance.
So let me tell you what comes next. Rome surrenders. Their territories are reduced. We recover are lost islands.
Make them pay silver. Make them pay
And
silver.
Carthage dominates the Mediterranean once again. But sir, what if they don't surrender? Jim Bob, did you miss what just happened? Of course they're gonna surrender. Throughout his campaign, Hannibal had shown himself to be very adept at reading the Roman mind. But if he now thought that Rome might surrender, it was the first time he severely underestimated them. And he was about to discover an extremely inconvenient fact about Rome. Rome never surrenders.
Oh shit.
At a Roman survivors' camp near Cannae, one young officer overheard some troops discussing how they would flee Rome. Drawing his sword, he threatened to cut down any man that would abandon Rome in its hour of need. That officer was Scipio the Younger. But soon enough, the Romans would come to call him Scipio Africanus,
Ooh.
the hero of Rome.
Ooh. Oh, really? Wait, what? Oh, no. There's no part 3. Wait, it's not out yet. Oh, no. I shouldn't have watched this. Oh, it could be 1,000,000 years. Dude, he cliffhangered me on Scipio Africanus. Fuck. Fuck, dude. I'll have to watch the only thing better. God damn it. This is kind of crazy. Skipping to it's weird, man. Looks like the Battle of Cannae, yeah. They're getting encircled. Why are we watching this cult shit? You think it's a cult? It's crazy it has no dialogue and it's like so weird and grim and it gets fucking 40 to 50 million views. Like every video a day. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't get it at all. Wait, ACLU iceberg trailer? What the hell is this? Dude, I did not know about how dominant that battle was.
In a world where
ACLU iceberg trailer. What the fuck is this?
streamers are bald.
What's up? It's me, Atrioc.
And hands are glizzies.
It's a terrible intro.
I don't have glizzy hands.
This is
There
so
exists
stupid.
only one Discord server with an incredible number of ridiculous, stupid, awful, brain-rotten jokes. Only one video is there to explain them all. The ACLU Iceberg Season 1 recap coming to a stream
You don't have seasons of a Discord server. You don't have seasons. It's not a show. It is a Discord server, bro. It's not season 1. All right, I guess check that out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I was gonna watch House. It is too late, and I have to work my fucking ass off, finish these slides for Monday. I'm gonna end. I was gonna watch that full part 3. I'm really pissed there wasn't exist. Unfortunately, no, I am gonna end. I know, I can't, but I have to fucking work on these slides. There's too much to do. I don't think I'm even. I don't know. I just gotta clutch. All right, so. Sevens, appreciate you. Have a good night. Should I rate somebody? That was very fun. Oversimplified rules. Straight up rules. Dude, you know who I'm going to raid? I'm going to raid Frodan. No, wait. You guys are not going to even know what he's doing. He's watching like serious high-level TFT. We'll just raid Spectacore. Or Nandre. Is Nandre live? Is Nandre live? Oh yeah, Nandre's live playing Will Neff. We'll raid him. Or sorry, playing Power World with Will Neff. We'll raid Nandre. Give Nandre some love. Sometimes he does fucking. Thank you for watching. Have a great night. Appreciate you. Bye.